The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Chisago Lakes High School for tonight's, well, doubleheader actually, but we got...
Finally, Friday is brought to you by...
As part of this doubleheader, the girls play first, and they will play against Mound Westonka. Yes, Mound Westonka. Now, this is a doubleheader, but Chisago Lakes is playing two different teams as part of this doubleheader. The girls will play Mound Westonka, and then the boys after this will host Duluth Denfeld. So two different teams in whom they're playing, but it's still a doubleheader nonetheless. They're still playing back-to-back games here this evening. But the girls, again, are playing first against Mound Westonka. The boys will take on Duluth Denfeld. Of course, maybe I didn't mention it, but you heard the intro. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'll be bringing you all the action from tonight's matchup here between the Wildcats and the Whitehawks in this first of the doubleheader games in Chisago Lakes. The girls playing against the Whitehawks of Mound Westonka. So we go ahead and take a look at both of these teams coming into tonight, starting with the visiting team, the Mound Westonka Whitehawks. They play out of Section 6-3A, and that section is home to 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 teams. And Mound Westonka is the 7th placed team in that section. The Whitehawks are 9-9 overall, exactly at that 500 mark on the season, but they're 0-1 in section play. And their section is home to some really good talent. And by really good talent, I mean 3 of the top 5 teams in the state in Class 3A girls basketball are in their section. Those teams would be Orono, the number 1 ranked team, Benilde St. Margaret's, the number 3 ranked team, and Delano, the number 5 ranked team. So you've got the 1, 3, and 5th ranked team in the entire state of Minnesota in Class 3A girls basketball in the section for Mound Westonka. It is just a insanely talented section that the Whitehawks play in. Now you've got 2 more teams who are inside the top 20. That's Richfield and Holy Angels, who are just behind Delano, so in the 4 and 5 spots. So this is a loaded, and I mean loaded, section in terms of teams with a bunch of talent. And Mound Westonka is it's not going to be easy come playoff time for them. No, you've got 1, 3, and 5. You know, I'm going to actually probably keep my eye on this section come playoff time because, again, the first, 3rd, and 5th ranked team in the section are eventually probably 2 of the teams are going to wind up playing each other, if not all 3 at some point in the playoffs. So I really am excited to see how this section plays out for Mound Westonka. I mean, this is an insanely loaded section. But enough about that. We'll look at more about the Whitehawks. They score 52 points per game while giving up 51 points per game, so pretty even on that side of things, of course. It kind of goes with their record. They are at 500, so for their points for and points against to be right at about even, it kind of goes along with what their season has been. Of course, the one lone loss in the section that they have was against Richfield, who they lost to, 71-50. But their season started out with a win against Howard Lake Waverly Winstead before that loss to Richfield. Then they beat Rockford and Zimmerman to have a 3-1 start, and they then lost to St. Anthony Village, but it wasn't bad by any means. Then they went and beat Breck and Big Lake, so it was a 5-2 start for this Mound Westonka team. Not a bad start, but as we inched closer and closer to Christmas, that's when things kind of got tough. As right before Christmas break, they lost to both Belle Plaine and Southwest Christian. And then they came out of Christmas break, though, and it looked pretty good. They were at 5-4 at that point. And then they came out and beat Minneapolis Washburn and Minneapolis Edison to get their record up to 7-4, but they have since gone 2-5. It started out with another loss to Southwest Christian and then Wilmer, and they beat Spectrum, then lost 2 more to Holy Family Catholic and Dassel Cokato, beat Hutchinson, but then lost to Norwood Young America last Friday. So they have had some time off after a 3-game week last week. That is. I feel bad if we're being honest. I feel bad for any team who has 3 losses or 3 games in a week. That is not easy to do. But they had 3 games last week. They went 1-2 in those games, and now they'll have their first game in a week tonight. So they will be coming into this one well rested. And they'll definitely need to, because then they'll play the number 1 team in the state in Class 3A in Delano on the road this upcoming Tuesday. So Tuesday, February 4th, this Mound Westonka team goes to Delano to play the number 1 team, not just in their section, but in the state of Minnesota in Class 3A basketball. Then they'll play Minneapolis Southwest. I feel like we've said that, but we've said Minneapolis, Washburn, and Edison, and Southwest Christian. We haven't said Minneapolis Southwest yet, but that's what will be coming up for them next week. And then they will play on Saturday at St. Francis. So 3 games next week, 2 of them on the road for them. But again, they're coming into tonight on the road, having lost last Friday to Norwood Young America. But again, a full week of rest for this Whitehawks team as they come into tonight's game against the Wildcats of Chisago Lake. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. For the Wildcats, they're playing out of Section 7-3A. Of course, Rockridge is on top of that section at 15-4, but then it's Hermantown North Branch in that 2nd and 3rd spot, Cloquet in 4, but Chisago Lakes is right there in that 5 spot. Now, that won't get them a home playoff game, but could they put together a few wins before the end of the season and hopefully some cards fall their way and they wind up getting a home playoff game? Certainly. There is certainly that chance. I mean, once you get to the end of the season like we are, there's a lot that can go on at the end of a season, because teams are trying to make their final playoff push. They're trying to get that higher seed so that they can either get 1, a bye, or 2, just get a home playoff game for at least 1 or 2 games and have a better chance of getting to the championship to play the number 1 team. So a lot can happen, because a lot of teams, again, are not necessarily putting that pressure on themselves, but they're feeling the pressure to get things done the way they want to. And you just never know in this section, in Section 7-3A. It's kind of an unpredictable section. Obviously, Rockridge, Hermantown, North Branch, all at the top in the top 3. They're obviously the top 3 that you would expect to get to the championship game in their section. But with Cloquet at 7 wins, and then you've got these bottom 4 teams in Chisago Lakes, Grand Rapids, Duluth, Denfeld, and Hibbing, who have 2 wins. Other than Denfeld, they have 5. But I think this is a really interesting section to keep an eye on as well. 6-3A obviously one, because you've got the 1, 3, and 5 teams in the state. But this section 7-3A is one where if, again, Chisago Lakes can't put a few wins together and get some cards, other teams to lose and go their way, Chisago Lakes could wind up with a home playoff game. So we'll have to wait and see. But the Wildcats this year are 2-16 on the season, 1-3 in section play. Their offense has struggled a little bit with scoring. They only score about 32 points per game, but give up 58 points per game. Considering how low their offensive scoring has been, for their defense to hold teams to only 58 points per game is pretty impressive. A lot of times when the offense can't score, you'll see that defensive points against per game very lopsided. Instead of 58 points, a lot of times normally what I'll see is instead of 58, you'll see 72, 75, even in the 80s. But this Wildcat team has done a really good job of getting back defensively and playing good defense. They've just done a really good job as we take a look at the Wildcat season up to this point. Again, it started out with a lot of losses in a row. Out of their 16, I think over 8 of them, maybe just 8 of them, came before they beat St. Croix Prep and Hibbing. They beat St. Croix Prep before the Christmas break. Coming out of the Christmas break, they beat Hibbing, and then they have since lost again 7 more after that to Princeton, Cambridge, Sandy, Zimmerman, St. Francis, Becker, Rockridge, and Monticello. But there's a few games in here where you think to yourself, could they have turned it around and won? And I think they think the same thing. St. Agnes is one. They lost by 6 in that game to St. Agnes. That's certainly one where I think they could have. And then they lost by 7 to Zimmerman. That is certainly one they wish they could have turned around. I was here for the St. Francis game where, yes, they lost by 18, so it may not seem as close, but let me tell you, that game was a lot closer than what the scoreboard shows as the final, and this Chisago Lakes team certainly could have won that game. I think they just needed a little bit more time on the clock, but they'll be looking to try and get a win here tonight over the Mound Westonka Whitehawks. Should be a good one. I'm excited. Again, anytime you see the Wildcats play, there's a chance that they could get an upset, and we have a lot of teams like that this year, but can they get it done here tonight? It's not going to be easy, but I think they can do it. We are just about set for, in fact, I think we are set for our national anthem, so we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. And then, once we come back, we will have our national anthem have been played. Then we'll get you your starting lineups for the game here tonight in the first game of our doubleheader between the Wildcats and the Mound Westonka Whitehawks. And then we'll be set for tip-off here in game 1 of the doubleheader at Chisago Lakes High School. But again, a word from our fine sponsors. You're really listening to Doubleheader Basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab a Meat Lover's burrito or new Ranchero beef and cheese burrito. I want one right now. Wash it down with everyone's favorite Celsius, buy one, get one free. And Holiday still has the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store and save. Open 24/7, 365. The Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Baseball and softball coaches, are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Back here on 100.9 FM, getting ready for your starting lineups here for the Whitehawks of Mound Westonka. It will be number 2, Charlotte Hulls, number 4, Mariella Engesser.
We've got the starters wrong. That's on us. That's on me.
Uh-oh. So they had the starters wrong. That's what the pause was about. So looks like we've got it fixed now, I think. Yeah, it looks like we do. So for the Whitehawks, again, number 2, Charlotte Hulls. Number 4, Mariella Engesser. Number 5, Valerie Mobagi. Number 14, Kayla Hattlestead. And number 21, Charlotte Mittling. The Whitehawks are coached by Caitlin Sunder. On the other side for the Wildcats, it will be number 1, Claire Beaver. Number 15, Lucy Asleason. Number 20, Kayla Larson. Number 24, McKenna Thorson. And number 30, Rayanne Goring. The head coach of the Wildcats, of course, is Trig Thompson. The Wildcats getting ready. The Whitehawks of Mound Westonka preparing, getting their final words from their head coach. Whitehawks will wear their white away uniforms, the red trim on the neck and sleeves of the jerseys, red letters and numbers. The red stripe, more a triangle stripe on the bottom of the short. For the Wildcats, their green home uniforms, the white letters and numbers outlined in that Wildcat gold, the gold trim on the neck and sleeves, and then the gold stripe down the thick gold stripe down the side of the jersey and short as well. As we get ready for tip-off here in this one, teams getting in their huddle before getting out onto the court. Got some of the youth girls a part of this game. They'll get to sit in and watch, and I'm guessing they'll get to be playing on the court at halftime, so that'll be pretty cool to see. Two teams are itching for a win once again, but the Whitehawks come in after about a week of rest. They haven't played since last Friday, so they've got a week of rest coming into tonight. Tip is up, and it is won by Westonka. Engesser with it, and quickly knocked out of bounds there by Larson. Larson with the early tip defensively, and it will stay with the Whitehawks. They'll inbound now to Hulls. Hulls gives on that far side to Mittling. Mittling trying to get inside, gives it back outside to Hulls. Hulls trying to go inside, but it's going to be stolen away by Asleason, her first steal of the evening. And the Wildcats get a takeaway early. Now with it is Thorson. Thorson will give to Goring. Goring trying to go inside to Asleason. She's trying to give that pass forward to her, trying to push her open, but that one just too far out in front of her, and it is going to be a turnover. So now an inbound here for the Whitehawks, and it goes through Mobagi's hands, and she smiles about it. It's an early mistake. It's okay. Just a mistake. So now it will be Wildcats ball, though. So the Wildcats will get set to inbound. They do to Goring. Goring on this near side, right by the table. She's trying to drive, puts up a hook shot off the glass and in for two for Rayanne Goring, and the Wildcats get on the board first. Not too many times we've seen that so far this season, but they get it on the board first, and they're in business, 2-0. Back the other way, Engesser will take it to the basket herself, looking for a similar shot. It's no good. Larson with the rebound for the Wildcats. She brings it up the court on the far side, lost her dribble. She gets it back, though, and now we'll look to the near side to Goring. Goring pausing. She wants to go far side, goes inside to Beaver. Beaver trying to work her way through some defenders, and that one was a little bit tougher one. Engesser with the steal. Engesser goes up the court now to Hulls. Hulls on the near side. Looking, she wanted to go to her team, but she was guarded well. Now over to Engesser. Engesser back to Hulls. Hulls will give it over to Mittling. Mittling trying to drive inside, gets around one, now back, and the pass was intended for Hulls, but Hulls zigged and the pass zagged, and it goes out of bounds. It will go to Chisago Lakes on the turnover. Beaver will get started with it up the court. Westonka going to play a little bit of full court pressure here. Wildcats have struggled a little bit this year to overcome that, and they'll do that there. Hattlestead will get the steal, and a three that's going to be off the board And rebounded by Mobagi for Westonka. Now a 3 the other way. It's no good. And great box out by the Wildcats. Allows Larson to get the rebound. Quickly up the court, Goring. Not sure if she was looking for a pass, but it's going to be stolen away by Mittling of Mound Westonka. Goring had a chance for a shot if she just set her feet. And we're going to get a charge called here on the Whitehawks. Great job by Beaver to get down there quickly. First foul going to be on Mittling. We're going to get 45 to check in for Mound Westonka. That's Gracie O'Halloran. In for the first time. Inbound now to Asleason. She's in trouble. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointing the Wildcats' way. Again, Mound Westonka going to put some full court pressure on the Wildcats. Wildcats have struggled a little bit this year to get out of that, but as the game has kind of gone on, they've kind of progressed and learned how to work their way out of it. They'll go inbound to Claire Beaver on the far sideline. She lost it out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Mound Westonka. 15:58, 2-0 Wildcats lead. But another turnover by the green and gold. Inbound on the far side to Hattlestead. Now she finds a lane baseline, but it's too strong on the shot. Rebounded by Mittling, and she'll put it back up and in for 2, and we're tied at 2 apiece. Up the court quickly, getting it up to Larson. Larson finally gets into the front court, nearly lost that ball. She is, but it's going to be lost out of bounds. Last touch by Mound Westonka, so the Wildcats keep hold of the ball. Won't be a turnover. Larson will look to inbound. She wants to go to Goring. Goring will start in the backcourt and look to bring it forward. She glances at Thorson, now gives to Thorson. Thorson on the near side. Brings it back, well, nearly to the top of the key. Pass to Beaver, who's at the top of the key, and the far side. Now to Larson. Goring, top of the key for 3. No good, just off the mark. Beaver nearly had the rebound, but it's Hattlestead instead. She's got numbers, and her shot is not, well, I think she got fouled down there by Goring. So she'll go to the line and shoot 2. Yep. Goring with the foul. Hattlestead to shoot 2. First one's up and no good by Hattlestead.
Okay, Green, let's get on them boards. Let's go. Box out, Green. Come on.
Hattlestead, second one is no good, and a rebound. Going to be taken there by Larson, but now it's up for grabs, and trying to get after it is Asleason. She's on the floor for it, and going to wind up getting a jump ball. Possession arrow favoring the Whitehawks. Well, Wildcats just tried to get the referee to think it was their ball, but it is Whitehawks ball. They inbound to Hulls. Now over to O'Hallahan. And this one's going to be stolen away by Kayla Larson. Larson up the other way with it, trying to go by the defender, but unfortunately she's going to get called for the travel. She's upset with herself on that one. Yeah, that's unfortunate. She had the lane, but just couldn't get around the defender and wound up traveling and upset. But, you know, it's early on. It's still a tie game, and she's going to get a steal. She says, absolutely not. This is still our ball. She'll give to Goring. Goring on the near side. Give to Thorson. Thorson back to Goring. She's left alone for 3, just off the mark. And trying to keep it alive is Asleason, but that's going to be out of bounds. A tough one there for the Wildcats. Mobagi checks back in, as will number 3, Jamison Reinke. Into the game for the Whitehawks, and bring it up the court is Hattlestead. Hattlestead gets through the lane, lost that ball through some contact. It's out of bounds. Goring there providing the defense and forced that ball out and out of bounds. Wildcats will have it back, but they'll be facing some full court pressure as Leeson, ball right into Hattlestead's hands. It'll be a steal, and now this one's knocked out of bounds off a leg of the Wildcats, so it will stay with Mound Westonka. At least I thought. Nope, they will get someone over there to inbound.
Come on, Green, let's get it back now. Get it back.
Trying to find a member underneath the basket, but it's stolen away again by Larson, her third of the evening already. Under 14 and a half to go. We're tied at 2. Thorson with it, gives near side to Beaver. Beaver trying to go underneath the basket to Larson, and she couldn't hold on. There were a bunch of hands in the way, but she could not hold on, and it will go out of bounds. It will go back to Mound Westonka. They're going to be going a little bit deep on their bench here early on. They're going to go with Elizabeth Nash into the game now. Wearing number 23 for the Whitehawks. Adelstad in under some pressure. Now she takes it. Thought it was travel, but Rinke now has it. She'll give on the near side to Mittling. That one rattles in and out, but finally falls through, and it's 5-2. Mount Westonka as Leeson, deep pass to her. Thorson trying to get inside. Oh, they're going to get a travel call here on Thorson. I thought she might have been fouled first, but not the case. So an unfortunate thing to have happen because she had scored. Well, that's all right, though. Still early on. Still plenty of time left. They actually called that Mittling 3 a 2. So it is now, it's 4-2 instead of 5-2. This ball is tipped and stolen away by Asleason. She gives it to Beaver. Beaver gives to Larson. Larson wanted to go to Goring. Goring wasn't ready for it, and Mobagi will get the steal. Just a little bit of miscommunication, and now Hattelstad coming up the other way. Hattelstad will drop it in for 2, and it's 6-2 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Now we get a timeout called by Chisago Lakes. It will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. It's a little bit of miscommunication here for the Wildcats early on. Has unfortunately led to some turnovers, but again, it's still early on. 13:26 to go. It's only a 4-point deficit for the Wildcats, so there's no need to panic. There's no need to worry about anything. They just got to continue to play their brand of basketball, and they'll be right back into it because, again, there is still plenty of time in this first half, and it's not like Mount Westonka is playing so much better than the Wildcats. In fact, I think it's been pretty even. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, they've just allowed some turnovers because of that miscommunication or some errant passes. Back out of the timeout, we do see our first substitution. It will be Lily Smith and Madison Eagle in for the Wildcats. Up the court quickly with it is Beaver. Beaver inside, nearly traveled. She lost it. It's going to be Hattelstad with another rebound for the Whitehawks. Trying to go now on the near side to Mobagi, inside to Hattelstad. It's blocked by Eagle. Eagle with yet another block in a game. I think she's averaging about 2-3 a game. Pass now as the Whitehawks do hold on to it. They'll give it out to Hattelstad on the far side for 3. That's no good, but her teammate Mittling is right there for the rebound. And 8-2 now our score. And now this one gonna again be stolen away by Nash. Got a foul here on Chisago Lakes. It's gonna go against McKenna Thorson, her first, team second. But Mount Westonka has it back after the steal. That's how you say it. That's gonna be stolen right back by Thorson. So Thorson gives it to Lily Smith. She wants to go back to Thorson, but nothing doing there. Now Madison Eagle. That pass is tipped and stolen away by Mittling. Feeling the pressure a little bit and gave that ball off a little too quickly, a little carelessly. And now we'll see a 3 attempt. That is no good. Thorson for the rebound. Beaver gets it near side. And get a foul here on the Whitehawks. That's going to go with number 3, Jamison Rinke. Well, that'll be her first, team second. And the Wildcats will inbound on the near side, right in front of our broadcast table. 12:19 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Lily Smith looking. She wanted to go somewhere, but she shook her head no. She just wasn't okay with the shot. And now driving inside, gets around one defender, lays it up, and in for 2. 8-4 now, but the Whitehawks get right by them. Madison Eagle nearly tied it up. She gives it outside instead to Hattelstad, does her teammate for the Whitehawks. This shot is up. Jump ball, and that is all because of Madison Eagle. Madison Eagle tied that ball up once again. And anytime you're going to try and drive inside on the Wildcats, you've always got to be aware of where Eagle is at because, again, she's going to get her hand on the ball more times than not. She gets the inbound. She gives it up to Thorson. The pass was tipped to Lily Smith, and it just goes out of her reach. It almost got to her, but I think they say she tipped it out there. So now it will be Mound Westonka who gets it back. Adelstead will inbound. And she gives it, I can't quite see the number. And on the far side, a quick pass to Hulls for 3. And she delivers. I believe that one is a 3. It's 11-4 now. Wildcats get around the defender, get around the full court pressure to Beaver, and then inside to Eagle, and Madison Eagle drops it in for 2. That is why Madison Eagle is so key inside, because she can do that when no one else can. And she's only a freshman, ladies and gentlemen, only a freshman. But the Whitehawks have it back. It's Nash with it. She lost it, and now we're going to get a foul. Claire Beaver with the steal. She was fouled on her way up the court. There, Beaver just getting back defensively, and she is all over the place. Adelstead is the guilty Whitehawk. She grabs her first, team's third, and checking in for the Wildcats is number 12. Of course, that's Mariana Cooksley. We'll get another foul here on the Whitehawks as Larson had it. She's fouled. This will be the Whitehawks' 4th team foul, the first on Hulls. And we'll get a sub. Goring will check into the game for Beaver. Beaver's going to catch a break, a well-deserved break. 11-6. Inbound to Smith. Smith gives it right back to Goring. Goring looking. She'll go inside to Madison Eagle. Eagle, that one. You can't tell. Yeah, they really couldn't tell who that one was off of, but they did a good job of conversating, did the refs, and they say that it is Wildcats ball. So Wildcats hold on to it. Lily Smith will look to inbound, trying to go to Madison Eagle. Eagle goes up over everybody, now over to Cooksley. Cooksley wants to go back to Eagle. Eagle inside, and that one nearly stolen away, but we get another foul call here on the Whitehawks. It'll be their 5th, and this one is picked up by Nash, her first, team's 5th. So the Wildcats doing a good job of drawing some fouls here, taking advantage of the aggressive Whitehawk defense. Smith will inbound on the far side to Goring for 3. It's just off the side of the rim. No good. Hadelstead with the rebound for the Whitehawks. She's going to take it up the court on the far side, trying to stop on a dime with Lily Smith. Lily Smith poked it out, but Hadelstead gets it back. Now to Hulls. Hulls on the near side. She pulls up from just outside the paint. That one's a little too strong. Cooksley there for the rebound. Gives it to Larson. Larson, she'll slow things down for the offense. Get it set, and now she'll call it to play. She'll give it over to Cooksley. Cooksley looking to the far side to Goring. Goring wanted to go inside to Eagle, but instead gives top of the key to Smith. Now on the near side, Cooksley. Cooksley wanting to go to Eagle, but yeah, she was guarded well. Smart thing, just pull it down. Now she'll go inside to Larson. Larson too strong. Eagle's going to get the rebound. No good on that one. We get an Eagle. She had dealt with a ton of contact there, and she draws yet another foul. This one going to go against Mobagi, and that's their team's 6th. And now Eagle at the line for 2. First one just off the mark. Milling back into the game for the Whitehawks. Eagle, second one is good. One thing that I'm really impressed with Eagle, again, she's only a freshman. This team is young for the Wildcats, but Eagle is only a freshman, and just how strong she is inside the paint is something you won't see from a freshman. It's so impressive. But here come the Whitehawks back the other way. Hulls with it, trying to use that speed to get around the defender. Lost the dribble. Picks it back up. Now she'll pick it up, give it over to Mittling. Mittling on the near side. Driving, trying to give it inside to Hadelstead. Outside now to Hulls, but that ball was tipped, and Smith is going to get the steal. She'll give it over to Larson, but it's stolen right back as it was tipped, and now Hulls gets the steal. Nearly stolen right back by Smith, and now Hulls draws a foul on Smith. I don't know. Hulls kind of got her shoulder into Smith a little bit. I don't know if that maybe next time they'll probably maybe look at that one going the other way, because Hulls kind of got her shoulder into Smith like a running back into a linebacker. I mean, it was close to an offensive. Inside the paint shot is no good for the Whitehawks. Cooksley going to get the rebound. Oh, and they're going to get a jump ball call. And it will be Whitehawks ball. Cooksley battling, got that ball away, but they just blew the whistle, so they'll get to inbound with the Whitehawks. Mobagi has it now to Hattlestead inside. Hattlestead trying to get around the defender Eagle. She does drop it in for 2. That's just a good move there by Hattlestead. This ball by Larson, nearly stolen away. She's under some pressure. She gets around. Whitehawks want a double dribble, but it's not a double dribble because it was poked out. The ball was poked out. And now Goring lost the ball, and it'll be out of bounds on the far side. So we'll stay with Mound Westonka. A lot going on here, trying to keep up. With it is Engesser. Engesser will give it up to Hulls. Hulls now over to Mittling. Mittling inside spin move. Shot is up, too soft, and rebounded by Asleason. Asleason up the court to Goring. Goring on the far side to Cooksley. Cooksley for they're going to get her for a travel. She took, I don't think she traveled there. I think that was a good shot. I don't think she traveled there. She picked up her foot to shoot, but she didn't take that step. She picked up that heel, but she didn't take the step, and I think that's where the referee got confused. She picked up her heel, but she didn't pick up her foot. But good passing up the court will lead to a Mittling 2, make it 15-7. And another jump ball call as Larson and Mobagi tie it up. O'Halloran in for the Whitehawks. Smith will inbound to Asleason. Asleason will go up the court to Thorson. Thorson gets up the court, now stops Goring. Near side corner, 3, no good, just off the mark. Asleason gonna get the rebound. They're gonna say no shot. And she's gonna go to line instead and shoot 2. So we're going to say the foul was on the court. That was close. I think it was more closer to a shot foul than not. O'Halloran gets the foul, her first, team 7th. But Lucy Asleason now at the line to shoot 2.
Put them in, Lucy. You got this.
Shot is good by Asleason.
You got this.
And Asleason's good on both of them. So 2 for 2 that round for Asleason, and it's now 15-9 in this ball. Inbounded, but it's knocked out of the hand, and it's last touch by Mound Westonka, and it will be Chisago Lake's ball. So we get a turnover and a timeout called by the Whitehawks. They'll be left with 4. Be a full timeout, so while they'll take one, we'll take one as well. You're listening to Doubleheader Basketball on WCMP.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back here on 100.9 FM, Cool Country, WCMP. Wildcats trail 15-9 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, but they do have the ball back after the Whitehawk turnover. So a chance to cut this deficit to 3 or 4. Inbound is blocked and going to be A jump ball again, and possession arrow now favors the Whitehawks. So for the Whitehawks, that turnover won't hurt them because they basically get it right back on what essentially is a turnover. But Hattlestead will give it in, and now quickly up the court to Mittling. Mittling tries to go to her teammate. That was O'Halloran, but it's knocked out of bounds by a member of the Wildcats, so we'll stay with the Whitehawks. Under 8 minutes to go, 15-9. Whitehawks trail by 6. Hattlestead will inbound. She'll go on the far side corner to Hulls for 3. Ooh, that is good. Hulls with a good look from 3, delivers on the shot. Thorson will bring it up the court, trying to get around the defender. She lost it, and it will go back to the Whitehawks. Thorson pretty upset with herself on that one, but she got a little bit locked up with the defender and unfortunately lost the ball. This ball going to be inbounded to Mittling on the far side. Now back over to Hattlestead. Hattlestead looking, wants to go to Hulls. Hulls back to Hattlestead. She nearly lost it, nearly stolen away, and she's in some trouble. She'll dribble it back out to Hulls. Hulls trying to get around the defender, Lily Smith. Now she'll go inside, but this one's going to be another jump ball, and this possession arrow favors the Wildcats. Get a sub in for Mound Westonka. One more sub for the Whitehawks. And now the Wildcats will get set to inbound. Cooksley quickly into Asleason. Asleason in some trouble, goes back to Cooksley. Cooksley, she'll bring it forward. She'll give it up to Goring on the far side. Nice dribble. And now drive. Spin around. Wanted to go to Asleason. Lost the ball. Cooksley's there on the far side. Are we going to get another jump ball? Another jump ball. This time it's going the Whitehawks' way. So yet another jump ball. And Cooksley out in is Claire Beaver. Whitehawks will inbound. Hulls.
Go Wildcats!
Starts with it. She gives it over now to Engesser. Back now to Engesser. Engesser trying to get around Beaver, but Beaver, very good defender, gives it off to Rinke. Inside Mittling. Mittling. Gonna draw the foul. This one they're gonna call on Asleason. Should be her first, team's fourth, and Mittling is at the line now to shoot 2. First one's up and no good.
Okay, Green, let's box out. Come on.
And this one's no good. Goring trying to keep it alive, but unfortunately it's going to go out of bounds, and Wildcats aren't there to grab it. Larson will come in for Smith, and it will be Whitehawks ball on the far sideline. They'll inbound. They'll inbound quickly to Rinke. Rinke right back to Engesser. Engesser to Hulls. Hulls at the top of the key. Thought about 3. Gets it off now to O'Halloran. O'Halloran. Shot is no good from 3. Rebounded by Thorson. And Thorson will give it out to Larson. Larson now over on the far side to Goring. And Goring finds a cutting Claire Beaver right underneath the basket for 2. She had to go through some defenders, but she did a great job. Hulls on the far side, thought about 3, pulls it down. Will go just inside that 3-point line and let it go for 2, but it is no good. And Asleason with a great box out to allow that one to roll out of bounds to give it back to the Wildcats. Thorson will get set to inbound. Mound Westonka backing off of their full court pressure now. It'll be Claire Beaver who brings it up the court. She gives it off on the far side. Larson holds on to it, looking, wants to go inside to Asleason. She's under some pressure. She'll go to Asleason. Asleason now off on the far side to Goring. Goring trying to go back inside to Asleason. Asleason's shot was no good, and getting the rebound was Larson, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the line and shoot 2. So Kayla Larson at the line now to shoot 2 on the 8th team foul from the Whitehawks. This one's going to go against Mittling, her second. This one's a little too strong.
It's okay, Kayla. This one goes in. Relax, Kayla.
Back into the game is Mobagi for Mittling. Larson, no good on the second, but I think we got someone into the lane early for Mound Westonka, so Larson's going to get another one. Yeah, they got into the they got into the lane well early. So Larson will get another opportunity. And unfortunately, that one's no good as well. It'll be rebounded by O'Halloran. Engesser with it. She gives it back to Hulls. Hulls trying to get around the defenders, trying to go inside to Mobagi. Now to O'Halloran. O'Halloran bounce pass to Engesser. Getting around defenders. A floater off the glass is in for 2 from Engesser. To make it 20-11. Wildcats back up the court with it. It's Larson who gives back to Beaver. Beaver on the near side gives to Thorson. Thorson to Larson. Looking at Goring, that's where they'll go. And Goring gives to Beaver. Passing around the horn. Going inside to Goring. Goring pulls it down. Under some pressure, she'll give to Thorson. Thorson to Beaver. Beaver now with under 10 seconds to shoot. Beaver trying to drive inside. She's got Larson on the far side for 3. No good. And it's Mobagi with the rebound for Mound Westonka. Gives it up the court to O'Halloran. Now back to Engesser on the far side. And this pass to no one. It's going to be Thorson who gets the steal for Chisago Lakes. One-on-one at the basket. Oh, and it's just off the side of the rim. Rebounded by Engesser. Thorson up the court quickly. Go the Whitehawks, and Rinke drops it in for 2, and it's 22-11. And a few tough possessions here for the Wildcats. Just some missed shots, unfortunately, and timeout called by Chisago Lakes. It will be a full, so we'll take one as well. You're listening to Doubleheader Basketball on Cool Country, 100.9 FM, WCMP.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Back on 100.9 FM, out of the timeout. Here come both teams back onto the court. Wildcats trailing by 11 now on that Brace Orthodontics scoreboard, but it's really a lot closer than that. We've just unfortunately had a couple of missed opportunities by the Wildcats, a couple of missed shots, but they will have the ball out of the timeout. 4:50 to go in the first half. Goring looking. She'll give it off to Thorson. Thorson up to Larson. Larson has numbers, gives to Beaver. Beaver inside. Defense is there quickly. Beaver wants to go through contact. Off the glass and in for 2. Claire Beaver just decided she's just going to take that shot no matter what. A little bit of full court pressure put on by the Wildcats, but the Whitehawks get through it. Heddlestad up the court with it now. She's trying to use that speed to get around the defense, but there's nothing doing. Goring is there. And now to Engesser for 3. That is no good. Rebounded, I thought, by Larson, but that one's going to be poked out to Engesser. Engesser will hand it to Hulls now on the far side, going to Rinke. No, excuse me, that is Nash. Nash will go across the court to Hulls. Hulls will try and go inside to Mobagi. Mobagi underneath the basket, trying to get through contact. Oh, wow. She does. That's just a good shot by Mobagi, and it's 24-13, full court pressure. Now we get a foul here on Mound Westonka. I believe that one's going to go in against Hulls. Hulls a little too aggressive defensively, and she'll pick up her second. And at the line now to shoot a 1-and-1 is Rayanne Goring. Goring, no good. And it was rebounded by Mobagi, but then that ball gets away, and it's going to be a steal for Claire Beaver. Beaver now to the basket, Instead, gives back outside to Thorson. Shot's no good, and Mobagi again with the rebound. They've got numbers the other way, but she slows it down. Now gives it to Hulls on the far side for three. That's going to be no good. Goring grabs the rebound, her first of the evening. This pass is to Thorson, but it's out in front a little too far. She comes back and gets it, though. Thorson has to pick up her dribble. She'll give it in the near side corner to Beaver. Beaver trying to get out of that corner away from the defenders. Traveling inside the paint, now gives it to Asleason. Asleason inside the paint, trying that spin move. She holds that ball away from the defender, outside to Goring. Goring nearly lost it. She did lose it. Hadelstead. Hadelstead will get the steal, and Hadelstead will wait for the offense to get in front and then bring it up. She'll now give it to Hulls, and this is stolen away by Thorson. Thorson with another steal, a one-on-one, but she's fouled. And she'll go to the line and shoot two. Hulls does not agree with the call, but that's a pretty easy one to get called. That's her third, and again, it's Thorson at the line to shoot two. First one's up and good. 24-14. Thorson's second one is good as well. So she makes them both, and it's 24-15. Whitehawks still with the lead, but Wildcats putting on some full court pressure. Nash with it. She's driving on Larson, and as she dribbled just up past half court, she dribbled that ball out of bounds on this sideline here, near side, and that will give it back to the Wildcats. So a turnover for Mound Westonka, and the Wildcats have another chance to go 2 for 2. Larson looking for three. It's no good as Leeson nearly there for the rebound, but winds up getting through hands to Engesser. Quickly up the way, give off to Renke, and Renke drops it in for two. It's 26-15. Here come the Wildcats. Larson gives it over to Thorson. Thorson on the far side. She's going to try and drive. That ball nearly knocked out. She gives it to Goring. Goring to Asleason. Asleason trying to back her way and give it to Thorson. Thorson, she's trying to drive inside. Gets through some defenders, through some traffic. It's no good. And Mobagi is going to get the rebound. And we're going to get a foul here on one of the Wildcats trying to get that ball knocked out of her hands. This one's going to go against Thorson, her second. Team's fifth. But again, that will make Mound Westonka inbound, and Wildcats showing some full court pressure. Oh, nobody deep for Mobagi, and she's up and in for two. That's just a smart play by Mobagi. She said, all right, if you're going to run the full court pressure, I'm just going to leak out the back and be open for two, and she was. Asleason trying to drive inside now to Beaver. Beaver to Goring. Goring, she's going to drive her way inside. A shot is up off the glass. It's no good. Rebound up for grabs, and it will be jump ball possession arrow is the Wildcats. O'Halloran will check in for Mound Westonka. Now Lily Smith and Madison Eagle will check in for Chisago. They'll come in for Beaver and Asleason. Yeah, having Madison Eagle in there at this point is going to be big, I think, because she is such a presence inside, and that's what they're trying to get right now because they know they have some of those shots. Eagle draws the foul on Mobagi.
You can do it, Maddie. Come on, Madison, put him in.
Oh, they called it on Hadelstead. I think that was... Looks like a timeout called here by Mound Westonka. So a timeout for the Whitehawks. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are in the double bonus, so it's going to be 2 shots at the line for Madison Eagle after that ball was knocked out. I thought that foul was on Mobagi, but they're going to say it's on Hadelstead, so... Mobagi was in danger of getting her third, but not so. And the Wildcats will head on out to the free throw line out of the timeout. They trail now by 13 due to a couple of turnovers and a very, very smart heads-up play by Mobagi. A full court pressure was put on by Chisago Lakes, and she just kind of leaked out of the full court pressure down the court, and unfortunately before anyone realized she was down there, it was too late. Eagles first one, got the friendly roll. Eagles' second one is no good.
Come on, get some defense, Green. Come on.
Rebounded by Hadelstedt. Oh. They're going to get a foul, I guess, here on Larson. I don't know. That was pretty soft, but man, they got to stick with it. This ball was lobbed in, but nearly stolen away by Eagle, but somehow Hadelstedt got it back for the Whitehawks. And they're going to get a foul here on Chisago Lakes. It would be their 7th. They'll get Thorson, her 3rd, unfortunately. And Gesser at the line to shoot 2. Her first one is no good. Cooksley in for Thorson, and Thorson will sit for the remaining 146 of this first half. And Gesser drops the second one in. So 1 of 2 there to make it 29-16. Goring trying to drive inside. The shot is up, off the glass, no good, but the rebound goes to Larson. Pass back, a long 2 for Eagle. I think we got another foul here on the Wildcats. Yeah, we're going to get Goring for her second. So it'll be Mobagi for a 1-and-1. This one's no good, and Cooksley couldn't quite hang on to the rebound as it goes out of bounds, and it will... Oh, I thought she had touched it last. Apparently not. It will be Wildcat basketball. 29-16. Goring has it now. Goring trying to get something started offensively. She'll give it to Larson, now to Cooksley. And on the far side for Smith. Smith waiting, wanted to find someone open. She'll go inside to Larson, but Larson could not hang on as she tried to get through some traffic and lost the ball. It goes out of bounds. It will go back to Mound Westonka. So inbound here to Mobagi. This pass up the court, trying to get it to Renke, but that pass, well, too far in front of her, and it will be Wildcats ball. 29-16.
Come on, let's set it up now, Green. Come on, let's go.
Goring again will have it up the court, trying to give to Madison Eagle. Eagle, there was contact there, but no call. Now Goring will go inside to Larson, had it locked from behind by Mobagi, so it'll be her first block. Actually, her team's first as well. But it is last touch by Mound Westonka out of bounds. They'll lob it into Madison Eagle. Eagle, no good. Off on that one, O'Halloran will get the rebound, and this ball up for grabs. And it's out of bounds. It will go back to Mound Westonka. A couple of hands touched that one, but it's going to stay with Mound Westonka. 29-16. They'll inbound to Mobagi. Mobagi nearly lost that. She was guarded by Goring, but now over to Engesser. Engesser will hand it back now to Nash. Nash to O'Halloran. Mobagi to Nash. Travel. And the ball will go back to the Wildcats. 33 seconds left. Shot clock is off on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. 29-16. So here come the Wildcats. We'll see what the Wildcats do, how they play this. Will they try and score and get another one before half, or will they just try to get that last shot? Larson with it, meanwhile, just inside the perimeter. Gives it to Smith. Now over to Goring. Goring trying to find her way around the defenders. Tried to give it over to Eagle. That's a kick ball by Mobagi, but going to be stolen right back, I guess, by Cooksley. 9 seconds to shoot, as it was stolen by Mobagi for a moment. Inside, Cooksley can't get it to fall, and it's O'Halloran. And that ball's tipped. They got a shot. No shot. Lily Smith got a steal. Oh, man. Just couldn't get that one off. And that will be halftime. So the Wildcats trail at the half 29-16 against the Mound Westonka Whitehawks. Well, that will take us to the halftime period. We're going to get a commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll recap the first half of action and give you some stats as well as you're listening to Doubleheader Basketball on 100.9 FM Cool Country WCMP.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Are you ready to get back to doing what you love? Whether it's recovering from an injury or preventing one, Wellia Health Sports Medicine Team is here to help. From kids to adults, we specialize in treating sports injuries, including concussions. We're here to get you back to peak performance. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Visit welliahealth.org.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab CK Oil, save $2 when you buy 2, or CK Diesel DEF treatment for only $23.99. While you're at Holiday, they still have the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items, and Refresh Team Spirit with Mountain Dew are 3 for $6, or Celsius, buy one get one free. Whoa, better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM WCMP. Taking a look at our first half stats for the Whitehawks. Leading the way for them was Mittling with 8, 6 for Hulls, 4 for Mobagi, Hadelstedt, and Rinke, and then 3 for Engesser. They were led in rebounding by Mobagi with 5. Then they had 11 steals in that first half, 4 from Hadelstedt, 1 block from Mobagi. They were 1 of 7, though, from that free throw line and had 11 team fouls. On the other side for the Wildcats, leading the way for them was 2 players, Beaver and Eagle, each with 4, and then 2 for Asleason, Thorson, Goring, and Lily Smith. 5 rebounds for Larson to lead the team. They had 13 steals, 3 for both Larson and Thorson to lead the team. They were 6 of 11 from that free throw line and had 18 fouls. That 6 of 11, is something that they'll want to improve, but seeing as how the Whitehawks have only gone 1 of 7 from the free throw line, it certainly helps them because, well, if you have to be more aggressive defensively, you kind of know now that, hey, well, we'll have at least a chance because, Mount Westonka is not doing and shooting too well from that free throw line. So there's at least a chance that we'll be able to keep ourselves in it if it has to come to that. But first half wise, I was pretty impressed with the Wildcats. Again, not the cleanest of first halves. They had some turnovers there that they'll look to clean up in the second half, but they did a really good job of executing their game plan. I think it needs to be updated here in the second half. I'm not going to say change because it still works, but I think it needs to be updated here in the second half. They want to work that ball inside a little bit. They're not so much going for inside out, but they have a few times, and Goring has had the opportunity from three. She just hasn't been able to hit it from long range yet. They actually haven't found a shot from three yet, so we'll have to see what they try to do that way, but they have had some open looks, and again, I think a few times though they have had the open looks, they've just rushed them a little bit. So I think if for Chisago Lakes, I think what they'll try and do is they'll continue to run their offense as is, but I think what they'll maybe do here in the second half is have Eagle starting in the second half, because she just does a really good job of being that tall player in the post where they honestly have needed her tonight. Now, she is 2 of 4 from the free throw line, with one of her shots falling in the paint. But for the Wildcats, I think they need to have her in the post more and have her out there as a starter, because she has been a huge part of this offense all year long. And as one of the taller players, the Whitehawks have some height, so inside especially. So if the Wildcats want to keep themselves in this game, kind of get back into it as of right now, I think you don't have to necessarily move the offense through Madison Eagle, but I think it would be helpful to have her out on the court more time rather than not, just because, again, her wingspan is so long. She's able to get some rebounds that some other players just might not be, and she's also able to get up shots over these defenders, over their hands, where, again, others might not be able to. So there's some opportunity there for Eagle inside. If that's the game that they want to play, I think they need to, because they're trying to work it with Beaver. They're trying to work it with Thorson inside. They're trying to get some of the other players working inside. It's just they don't have the stature that Eagle does right now. But yeah, there's another young lady for the Wildcats, Cooksley, who is of decent height. And I think you got to work your taller players inside. The perimeter shots just aren't falling right now, and maybe they will eventually fall here in the second half. But for right now, I think you just got to work the ball inside, work it more to Cooksley and Eagle, your taller, bigger players inside. Let their strength be the key to part of the second half. Again, Cooksley and Eagle are pretty darn well. This entire team is got some surprising strength to them, but you're looking at Cooksley and Eagle with the combination of their height and strength to be kind of a key part of this second half, in my opinion, trying to work that ball inside. Look for not so many perimeter shots at this point, but again, the more you work that ball inside, the more you find open shots inside, or the more you just get those shots to fall with Eagle and the other players, the more you're going to open up opportunities from outside the perimeter. And the more opportunities you get, the more shots you get to take. And the more shots you get to take, well, the more dialed in you're going to get. The more dialed in you're going to get, the more you're going to be on. And by that point, you might be able to then run away with the game once you're able to get the game back within a couple of scores. And, one thing that the Wildcats can't do that they've done a decent job of, you've seen it a couple times where they've kind of focused on the wrong thing, but the biggest thing here is to not focus on the scoreboard. Don't worry about being down by 13 at this point. Just remember, there's no 13-point shot. There is not a single shot that you can make that's going to get back 13 points in one. You just got to go possession by possession. They were just fine. Mound Westonka pulled off a couple more possessions where they scored there in that first half, and we had a few more turnovers by by the Wildcats. But overall, the Wildcats played just fine in that first half, and they'll come back out here in the second half and trying to get things going their way. I think one of the bigger things, too, is just limiting the turnovers. Obviously, turnovers are going to happen, but try and limit those, because we've seen far too many. And some of them won't count as turnovers, but the jump ball. We've seen that far too often where the Wildcats either had to force a jump ball or forced a jump ball when the possession arrow was favoring Mound Westonka. So if I'm the Wildcats, one of the things I'm telling my team, we got to hold on to the ball a lot stronger than what we have been in that first half. Got to hold on to it. We got to have more smarter, precise passes, and then we're going to work that ball inside. That's what I'm telling them. Defensively, there's not much that they really need to change. Obviously, don't allow any of their shooters to get open from three, which they haven't. But if there's one specific player, it would be Hulls for Mound Westonka. Don't allow her anything open from three because she's going to nail them. And then also just making sure that their assignment's sound. I know it's easier said than done, and it seems like a generic thing to say, but you got to make sure that your assignment's sound, because if and when you are, it's that much harder for the other team to get going what they want to get going. As we get set for the second half of action here on 100.9 FM. Our first game of the doubleheader here at Chisago Lakes. The girls playing Mound Westonka. The boys will play Duluth Denfeld. It will be the Whitehawks to inbound to start half number 2. 18 minutes are back up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Let's see how quickly the Wildcats can't start this second half offensively. With it is Engesser. She'll give it over on the far side to Hulls. Nearly stolen away, but now to Mittling. Now on the near side for Engesser. Now over to Hulls. They'll try and go inside to Mittling, and Mittling drops it in for 2. For Mound Westonka, they're going to probably work the ball to her more often in this second half, because she started out with, she got a quick 6 points on the board for Mound Westonka and then kind of disappeared, so I won't be surprised if they try and do that. They're going to work this ball inside to Larson, trying to go over to Beaver on the far near side corner, but it's knocked out of bounds by Hulls. So the Wildcats will hold on to it. Beaver will get set to inbound. Looking, she has Thorson near side, but nothing doing there. She'll give it into Asleason. Asleason, no one there. She wanted to go back out, and that ball was tipped, but Larson's going to go and grab it. Larson trying to drive inside. I think they're going to get her for a travel. Yeah, they will.
Come on, Green. Let's get some defense going.
So travel called, and it ball will go back to Mound Westonka. Again, those are the turnovers that the Wildcats need to limit here in this second half. They go up the court quickly, do the Whitehawks. Engesser over to Hulls on that far side for 3. And that one's no good. Goring with the rebound. She'll bring it up the court. Cross the defender. She'll give it over now to Larson. Larson has an opportunity from a long 3. She's going to take it, and it's good. Kayla Larson on the board for the first time here tonight and drops in a big 3, 31-19. Mobagi trying to go inside to Mittling. Mittling lost it. Ball is up for grabs and is stolen away by Thorson. She had 3 of them, make it 4 now. Larson calling out the offense. She'll give the ball over to Thorson. Now over to Beaver. Quickly to Goring, and now they'll go back top the key to Thorson. They're pausing, waiting, trying to find something to Goring now. Going inside to Thorson. Reverse layup is just no good. And Mittling will get the rebound. That one was a tough shot for Thorson, but a good effort by Thorson nonetheless. I mean, she had to a reverse layup, and it was, I mean, she was guarded so well. Mittling inside draws the foul. Be the first of the second half on Chisago Lakes. And the first, I think, on Asleason, or second. Mittling's at the line for 2. That one's no good. Mittling, no good on that one. But it is rebounded by Mobagi. And her shot is no good, rebounded by Goring. She gives it over to Beaver. Beaver will cross the court, give it over to Larson. Now back to Goring. Goring on the near side, looking to Beaver on the far side. She'll take a 3. That is just off the mark. No good. Hulls with the rebound, her first of the night. And she'll roll it up now to Hattelstedt. Hattelstedt has it. Stands at the CL logo, gives to Hulls now to Engesser. Back to Hulls, but it's stolen away by Thorson. Thorson, her 5th steal, 1-on-1, and that one's in for 2. Thorson makes it a 10-point deficit now for the Wildcats, and like I said, the Wildcats, there have been plenty of games which they feel like they should have won. This is going to be one of those, as this pass is tipped and now stolen away by Goring. Goring to Asleason, now to Beaver on the near side. She lost it out of bounds, and it was out tipped by the Whitehawks, so it stays with the Wildcats. Beaver will get set to inbound. Looking. Larson, she had Larson on the near side, instead gives to Thorson. Thorson maybe looking for the turnaround jumper, instead gives to Larson for 3. It's no good. Goring comes in to get the rebound. She'll give inside to Beaver. Beaver trying to find a shot at the basket. This one's no good. Mobagi with the rebound. That was a tough shot. Hadelstead now brings it into the offensive zone. Trying to get around Beaver. Nothing doing that time. Goes back the other way. She does get inside now, but tries to go around Goring. That one's a little too strong. And Larson got the rebound, but I think we're going to get a foul here on Mound Westonka, and I think they're going to get either Mobagi or Hulls. They got Mobagi, her second. Smith will check into the game, as will Eagle for Thorson and Asleason. Larson gives it up to Beaver, and now they'll start up the court. She'll give it off to Smith. Smith looking. She wanted to go back to Larson, but very smart play. She realized Larson was in the back court still, and had to take it up herself. Pass now here to Smith on the far side. Larson for 3. It's good! Kayla Larson for 3. Make it 31-24. 31-24. And the Whitehawks bring it up the court quickly. They have to stop. Now give it up top of the key to Hadelstead. Hadelstead runs it to a... Oh, they're going to call a foul here on the Wildcats. And many people asking for a travel call instead. They're going to get this on Eagle, her first, team's second. Interesting. Hadelstead ran into the double team of Eagle and Goring and definitely took a few extra steps, but they called the foul on Eagle, which is interesting. Now this ball up for grabs. Beaver with the steal. Give up to Larson. Larson into Eagle to Smith. Smith keeps it alive. Hits that ball back to Goring. Goring for 3, no good. Eagle with the rebound. Eagle drops it in for 2. Madison Eagle for 2, and it's 31-26. Full court pressure shown by the Wildcats. Nearly got the steal on the inbound. Beaver trying to get that ball back. It's stolen away by Larson. Larson one-on-one, turnaround. She's fouled. And Larson will go to the line and shoot 2. And this aggressive defense for the Wildcats is paying off as they'll get Mobagi her third and the team's second. So Larson now at the line to shoot 2. First one is no good. Halloran in for Mobagi. Larson, that one's good. 31-27. The Wildcats have cut their deficit now to 4 points. Hulls lost it out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Wildcats. The Wildcats didn't have to do much that time. Hulls, unfortunately, just lost it herself, and now the Wildcats have a chance to cut it down to 1 or 2. Beaver gives to Larson. Larson looking, pausing, giving to Goring. Goring waiting, giving to Smith now on the far side. She'll lob it into Eagle. Eagle had that one blocked by number 3, Rinky. And now we draw a foul on the white. Oh, a little chippy in there. O'Halloran ran into Eagle, and I have to watch the chippiness. Mittling gets her third. Beaver looking to inbound. She wants to go to Eagle. She does. Gives out to Goring. Goring pauses, gives to Beaver. Beaver, a elbow 3 is no good, but Eagles right there with the rebound, puts it back in for 2, and the deficit is now only 2, and the Wildcats are right there. The Wildcats working that ball inside, but have found some of those shots from outside. Now Hadelstead with it, guarded by Smith. That one's blocked by Eagle and stolen away. Eagle with the block and the steal. Larson Trying to go inside to Eagle. Eagle, no good on the shot, but she's fouled, and she goes to the line to shoot 2. I think they're going to get O'Halloran that time. They do. Her second, team's fourth, and Eagle at the line now for 2. First one's good. (20 and 32) check in for the first time for the Hawks. Get those names to you in just a moment. Eagles good on them both, and that has tied the game up at 31 apiece. It has been an incredible run here at the start of the second half. A 15-2 run for the Wildcats, and now we get a ball that's stolen away. Larson through some contact. And a jump ball call. We're going to get the possession order to favor the Wildcats. Another steal there for the Wildcats. Jump ball is now in their favor, and it's 31-all. A timeout called by the Wildcats. A 15-2 run to begin the second half for the Wildcats. They have tied it up at 31 apiece. Timeout called. It'll be a full timeout. Looked like Mound Westonka took the timeout. They'll be left at 2. So while they take one, we'll take one as well.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique, specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Back here on Cool Country, 100.9 FM WCMP. The Wildcats, again, have gone on a 15-2 run to begin this second half in the first 6 minutes to tie the game at 31 apiece. Madison Eagle has been huge in this second half. She now has 6 points in the second half alone, and 10 total. And Westonka, it's getting a little chippy out there for Westonka. They are a little bit frustrated, and it is showing. They are getting some fouls that may not necessarily be fouls that they want to have. And you might be saying, well, they don't want to have any fouls. Well, that's true, but if you get fouls, you want them to be hustle fouls, and they haven't really been hustle fouls right now. Eagle gets double-teamed inside, but then Larson for 3, it's off the mark. Beaver with the rebound, her first. She's going to circle, give it back to Smith. Smith pauses. She'll give it over to Larson. Beaver, 3 from the far side. It's good! And the Wildcats take a 34-31 lead. It's now an 18. No. Oh, they're going to get a foul on the Wildcats, and it should have been a travel. The entire arena's going nuts. Needs to be a travel call there, but they're instead going to get a foul on Beaver. Oh, my goodness. Heddlestead will be at the line to shoot 2 now. No good on the first. That's man, that's a tough call. Well, 20, Keely Zakow. Was number 23, and this one no good. Jump ball again, and possession favors the Wildcats. 32 for the Whitehawks was Eve Schupp. So, Whitehawks will inbound. This one nearly stolen away by Eagle, and then a 3 here is going to come up short. Rebound by Heddlestead. She'll slow it down. Trying to get around Larson, but she's got Beaver there on the other side. In some trouble, gives it over to Engesser on the far side. This one. Oh, Mound Westonka, it's getting chippy out there. I read the lips of Mittling, who had Eagle on her, and she said, get off me. And, well, Eagle's just doing her job. Meanwhile, a steal here by Mobagi. We'll put up and in for two. It's 34-33. It is certainly getting chippy out there between these two teams. Pass inside. Stolen away. They're going to get Eagle for a foul, but Mittling threw an elbow. I mean, Mittling threw an elbow into the eye of Eagle. I don't know how. That's interesting. Well, we'll stick with it. This one's on Larson. That one's the right call. So it'll be her second, team's fifth. The Wildcats leading by 34-33. Again, the Whitehawks getting a little chippy out there. Certainly the emotions getting a little bit of the best of them, and we'll see if that doesn't play a factor. No way. They're going to get a foul that time on Goring, apparently. I don't know where that foul came. That was good defense by Goring. No good there by Mittling. Cooksley will check into the game for the Wildcats for Goring. Goring going over to her coach saying, there's no way. And he's just asking her about it, and she tells him, hey, I don't think I fouled. Mel Mittling, that's no good. Rebounded by Hattelstedt. A three here from Hulls is no good. It's going to go off of Larson for the rebound, so it will stay with Mound Westonka.
Come on, Green, let's get going. Get it back. Force some turnover. Come on, Green.
Hawks will look to inbound. They go in, try to go inside to Mittling. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Larson. Larson will bring it up the court. Closing in on 10 minutes to go here in the game. Cooksley with it. Cooksley will dribble. Now give it over to Thorson on the near side. Thorson fakes the pass one way, then she'll dribble to the top of the key. Thorson wanted to go back to Larson. Nothing doing there, so she'll give it to Beaver. Beaver now to Larson. 10 seconds to shoot. Larson lost it. They're going to get a foul on Mount Westonka. They've been calling it a little bit closer here in the second half foul-wise. They're not allowing much. This one's on Mittling, her fourth, and they're going to keep Mittling out there for right now. A little bit of a surprise, especially with 9:45 left. Well, no, here comes the sub. So Mittling will have to take a seat. Keely Zachow will check into the game for the Hawks. For Mittling, again, who picked up her fourth foul. Wildcats will inbound. Beaver wanted Cooksley, but she's guarded well. Instead, she'll go to Asleason. Asleason had it knocked out of her hands, but Larson's right there to back her up. Larson now over to Beaver. This one's going to be stolen away by Mobagi. Up the court here. And it's stolen right back. Cooksley gets the steal. Beaver up the court now to Asleason. Asleason, that one, nearly knocked out of bounds by Mobagi, but it's just going to be a block instead for Mobagi. That's a good block. Pass inside to Mobagi. Where do you get that foul? I don't understand that one. I guess they're going to say Cooksley got into the defender a little bit too much. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too rough. Maybe that was, even though it was close, I'm not out on the court either, so. This one is up and good for Mobagi. So I'll admit fault.
Okay, Green, let's get it back.
Again, the refs are all on the court, and I'm not a referee either, so I got really nowhere to stand. Second one is no good by Mobagi. It's rebounded by Claire Beaver. Beaver trying to take it herself. She lost the dribble for a moment, gives it over to Cooksley. Cooksley back to Beaver. Beaver on the elbow as we're tied at 34 apiece now. On the far side, Larson. Larson fakes the pass, then goes to Thorson. Thorson over to Beaver on the near side to Cooksley. Cooksley thought about three. She'll dribble it down, give it to Larson. Thought about Thorson. 10 seconds to shoot. They'll go inside as Leeson. And that pass going to be knocked out of bounds by the Whitehawks with 6 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. 8:41 to go in the game. Inbound to Larson with 5 seconds to shoot. 4, 3, jump ball, possession arrow, Wildcats. So they'll now have 3 seconds to shoot. Couple substitutions, Goring, Eagle, and Smith in for Cooksley, Thorson, and Asleason. 3 seconds to shoot once they get this ball inbounded. I think they're going to try and find Eagle, but she's going to be double-teamed immediately. They'll give it into Goring. Goring along three. It's good! And Goring for three. It's 37-34. That is great execution there by the Wildcats. Goring with the shot to fall. Now up the court quickly. Eagle guarding. That shot was blocked, and we're going to get a foul here. I think this one might be on Beaver. Beaver got her hand over, and he can't get the hand over. Eagle with her second, team's 7th or 8th, excuse me. So now Wildcats getting into a little bit of foul trouble. This one a shooting foul for the Whitehawks, and it's the first one's up and good by Engesser.
Okay, Madison, box out.
This one good as well, so they make them both. And it's 37-36. Wildcats still with the lead. Larson has it on the far side. Larson give over to Goring. Goring goes near side to Smith. They want to go inside to Eagle, but Eagle guarded well. Bounce pass inside for Eagle. Back out. Goring. No good for three. We'll get a push on Eagle. It'll be her third.
That's okay, Madison. You can get it back now, Madison. Come on.
So it'll be a 1-and-1 now for Keely Zakow. But that is the Wildcats' 9th team foul. So getting into a little bit of foul trouble here late in this half. This one's no good. And Goring will just watch that one go out of bounds and does the smart thing and lets it go. So it will be Wildcat basketball. They don't have to risk a touch out of bounds. Inbound goes to Beaver, and Beaver will work it up the court. 37-36, under 8 minutes to go. Smith looks, she gives it to Larson on the far side. Smith inside to Goring. Goring looking back to Larson, but that one's going to be stolen away by Mobagi. To Engesser, shot is up, no good. Eagle there for the rebound. And that last foul, she got a little rattled, but she's still doing okay. Oh, this pass by Goring well off the mark. Not real sure where she was trying to go, so it's a steal there for Zakow. Now to Mobagi. Mobagi trying to go inside to Zakow. This ball up for grabs. Smith tried to hit it out for her teammates, but she'll wind up hitting it out of bounds. And it will go and stay with the Whitehawks. I should say sorry to the refs. I do apologize. A little harsh on them there on some of the foul calls that they had. But, again, they're just calling the game how they see it, not how I see it. If it was how I see it, I mean, it'd be a bad, bad game. 8 seconds to shoot now, and Hulls will take the shot. It's no good. It's going to be almost rebounded by Zakow, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to the Wildcats. Now we're going to get a timeout here by Chisago Lakes. So the Wildcats will take a timeout. We'll wait for the players to get over to the respective bench areas, and it will be a 30-second timeout for Chisago Lakes. We'll keep it here. Wildcats 37-36. It's been an incredible run in this half. A 21-7 run in this half so far. 21-7. And the half's not over. What a run by these Wildcats. And they've still got a chance to hold on to this lead and try and build on it and take it to the finish. Meanwhile, both boys basketball teams working their way into the gymnasium as they get ready for the game after us. 6:54 to go here in the game, in this girls basketball game between the Wildcats and the Mound Westonka Whitehawks.
Hey, Madison, you got this game. Come on.
Wildcats will inbound. Beaver to Smith, then to Larson. Larson pauses. She'll drift to the far side, pulling in the defenders. And she'll go to Beaver now. Beaver, they're going to play a little bit more closer man-to-man. Beaver inside. Oh, just too soft on the shot. She gets her own rebound, gives it out to Goring. Goring trying to give it over to Eagle. Eagle grabs it, and oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And they're going to get a travel call on Eagle.
That's the worst roughing I've ever seen.
Oh, my goodness. Probably something that... that one was close. They called the travel before the foul. It was definitely a foul, but they called the travel before, and that's a tough one for the Wildcats. Oh, now they're going to get a foul on Eagle. That'll be her fourth, team's 10th, and it will put someone at the line for two. Looks like O'Halloran. So unfortunately, Eagle will have to check out, Goring out as well. In came Cooksley and I believe Thorson on that far side. So O'Halloran's first one is no good. Second one is good. So 1 of 2, we're tied back at 37. Larson has Leeson to Cooksley for 3. That's good! Cooksley with a quick motion on that one and dropped it in for 3. And now the Whitehawks will try and get up the court quickly. Going inside to Hattelstad. Through some... They're going to call Cooksley for the foul. Wow. Tough one. I will say that. May not agree with it, but it is what they call. So we stick with what they call. And again, thankful for the refs to be here and ref this game, because if not for them, well, we don't have a basketball game. So we appreciate the refs. Again, we may not agree with the calls, but we are certainly thankful they're here. This one is no good. Cooksley. Well, she got the rebound, but then it was tied up. The jump ball favors the Whitehawks. We'll go past that ball over on the far side. 3 for Hulls is good. Jump ball, you could have argued that it probably should have maybe been a foul on the Whitehawks, but again, I'm not a ref, so we stick with what they call. Apparently that ball went out of bounds off of the Wildcats, so Mound Westonka, I guess, has it. And Mound to O'Halloran on the far side, Hattelstad. And Hattelstad hits a 3, and Whitehawks have the lead back. But no sense in panicking if you're the Wildcats, because you're still so close in this one. And yeah, there's no need to feel any pressure. You got just under 5.5 minutes to go. There's no need to worry about trying to get back into this one. Good look for 3 from Smith, but it's no good, and rebounded by Hulls. And Hattlestad back the other way on a fast break. It's no good. Larson with the rebound. She'll give over now to Beaver up in their offensive court. They'll look to Smith. Smith trying to look for where to go with it, trying to get it to Larson, and it's going to be turned over. Hattlestad with the steal, and then a three for Hulls. Makes it 46-40. Beaver will dribble through some traffic, and if this is on Mobagi, it'd be her fourth. Yeah, it is. Her fourth, team's sixth. Goring, Thorson in for Chisago. There, Beaver will bring it up the court. Gives it over to Larson. Larson. Beaver has it back again on that far side. And that pass, trying to get it over to Thorson, but just too high. 45-40 according to the scoreboard here in the gym on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. 4:31 to go. Again, no need to panic or rush anything if you're the Wildcats. There's still plenty of time, and you're only down by 5. There's no need to panic. I mean, you went on a, what was it, a 21-7 run? Yeah, there's no need to panic. Another three from Hulls. That one's going to be no good, but unfortunately it's going to be rebounded by O'Halloran. And nearly stolen inside, and now the pass trying to go inside to Hattlestad. It's out of her reach, and it will go back to the Wildcats. Larson will inbound to Asleason. Asleason will give it up the court to Beaver. Beaver one-on-one with O'Halloran, and that shot no good. And Thorson with the rebound, she's fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot two. It'll be the 7th team foul on Westonka. The third on O'Halloran. Everything figured out at the scores table, and now we'll get Thorson a chance to shoot two. Oh, I guess it was a 1-and-1. Oh, I thought it was a shooting foul. Apparently not. O'Halloran does get the rebound. Give it back to up the middle here to Hattlestad. That ball is up for grabs, and Goring will wind up picking it up. She'll grab the steal. Here's Beaver with it. She'll give it over to Goring. Looking to Larson. Instead, she takes the three. It's no good as Leeson. No, it's going to be Thorson with the rebound. Now to Beaver for three. That's going to go long. And Larson tried to race after it, but couldn't get to it in time. And it will go out of bounds, so it goes back to Mound Westonka. Hattlestad will get it into Hulls, and then she'll give it right back to Hattlestad. 45-40, 3:30 to go in this game. Hulls with it. Got a screen, looked for, I think that would have been two, but it's no good, and Thorson grabs the rebound. Up now to Goring. Goring lost her own dribble. She picks up, could have gotten a carry call on her, but we'll give it over to Beaver on that far side. It's no good. And Goring trying to keep it alive, but unfortunately going to be taken away by O'Halloran. And then Mobagi, left alone up the court, drops it in for two. 47-40, still plenty of time, just under 3 minutes to go. She'll give it over to Thorson. Thorson, I thought she kept it alive. Apparently she stepped on the baseline. So that pass by Goring just led Thorson a little too far, and we'll give it back to Westonka. They'll go up the court with Hulls. Hulls will slow it down, wait for the offense to catch up. She's guarded by Thorson. On the far side, O'Halloran. Good pass inside to Mobagi. That was a good-looking play there, but I kind of thought that one was going there based off of what they've been up to here lately. Are they going to get a travel? On Asleason. So the ball will go back to the Whitehawks. Chisago trailing by 9, but again, plenty of time left. They were on a tear to begin this half, so there's no reason for them to panic. There's still so much time left for them to get back into this one, but now obviously what Westonka is going to do is just slow things down offensively and take some time off the clock. Hull's with it. She'll get it over on the far side to O'Halloran, inside to Hattelstad. Larson is there for the steal, though, and she's got numbers. She'll give it to Beaver, and Beaver fouled hard, and she'll go to line and shoot 2. 8th team foul on Westonka.
Okay, Claire, you got this.
And the second on Rinke. So Claire Beaver to shoot 2. That one's up and no good. Eagle will check back in, as will Mittling for Westonka. So Beaver with her second. That one's no good as well. Rebound still for grabs. Somehow stays in bounds for Thorson to grab it. Shot for Eagle is no good, and rebounded by Hattelstad. She didn't want to get a what would be over the back call foul, so she lets it go. Hattelstad getting around some defenders. Wildcats laying off a little bit, trying not to pick up any more fouls, but Hulls, delivers a blow with that 3. Make it 52-40. Still plenty of time, though, for the Wildcats. They can get back into this one. Just need to make sure they're moving this ball quickly. Eagle for 3, it's no good. Larson gets the rebound, and she's fouled. She'll go to line and shoot 2. It'll be the 9th team foul on Westonka. And the 3rd on Rinke. This one's up and good from Larson. And Larson can't drop them both in. Only gets 1 of 2, and it was rebounded there by Mobagi. And it looks like we'll get a timeout now here by Westonka. They'll be left with 1 after calling their 4th. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here, 52-41, 1:12 to go. Obviously, Mound Westonka are going to be talking about now basically just trying to slow things down and taking as much time off the clock as they can here to try and seal the victory. But, again, there's still time. 11 points. It's not going to be easy, but there is still time, and they can get it done. The Wildcats, again, remember, went on that 21-7 run here in this second half to take the lead, 37-34. But, unfortunately, have seen that lead evaporate. A few turnovers have been the difference for this game, and the lead switching hands. Again, it will be Westonka ball coming out of the timeout. Inbound to Rinke, but again, they're going to slow things down. They're going to take a shot probably until 10 seconds left. Milling with it. Now over to Mobagi. Now to Hulls. And there's 10 seconds. Now they'll probably look to shoot. They'll try and start the offense. Hattelstad.
She was standing there. She's got a right to her spot.
They're going to get Eagle for the foul.
I guess they're allowed to use their elbows. Why not?
Unfortunately for Eagle, that'll be her 5th, and her night comes to an end early as Lisa will check in. And yeah, unfortunately, it was called a foul. She's upset with that one, and it was close. She was kind of planted in her spot, and Hattelstead kind of leaned into it a little bit. So you could have argued that. I don't know if it would have been an offensive foul, but I don't think it should have been called maybe. Meanwhile, Hattelstead hits the first and second. So it's them both, and it's 54-41 with 45 seconds to go. Beaver gives it off far side to Asleason. Bounce pass inside, trying to get to Larson, but it's out of bounds. Knocked out by Rinke. Beaver will get set to inbound. A three from Goring on the far side is no good. Halls with the rebound. Shot clock is off with 30 seconds to go, and now we're going to get a late foul here on Chisago. On Larson, that'll be her third.
She uses her elbow and we get fouled. That's ridiculous.
So Halls will shoot two. Halls no good on the first.
Come on, Green, box out.
Believe it or not, that's her first time at the line tonight. That one's good. 55-41, so fortunately game is going to be over, but the Wildcats can still get a few more points. Well, that might do it. Mittling will get a steal, and that will probably wrap this one up. We'll go inside. No reason to try and score here. Not real sure why they took that shot. Goring is going to get the rebound. 7 seconds, and the Wildcats can maybe put up a three to try and look a little bit better on the final. And Larson for three, and that will do it. So it will be a 55-44 final with the Wildcats falling to the Whitehawks of Mound Westonka. And, man, what a tough game for the Wildcats. This is, again, another one where they'll come back and look at and say they should have won, and they'll fix things. So they'll do some certain things to make sure that instead of saying we should have, they'll come out and they will have won these games. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll recap this game, and then we'll also talk about the boys basketball game coming up here as our second game of the doubleheader. But first, a word from our fine sponsors.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch, the premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
So we're back here on 100.9 FM WCMP to recap the girls' game of the doubleheader, where they fell, unfortunately, to Mound Westonka 55-44. Some stats from that game for the Whitehawks. Leading the way was Hulls with 15, then 12 for Mittling. They had 18 steals, 3 blocks. They were 8 of 26 from the free throw line and had 20 team fouls. For the Wildcats, leading the way for them was Kayla Larson with 11, 10 for Madison Eagle, and then 7 for Claire Beaver, 2 for Lucy Asleason, but 5 for Goring, 4 for Thorson, 3 for Cooksley. Rebound-wise, leading them was Larson with 9. They had 22 steals. They had 4 blocks, all coming from Madison Eagle. They were 8 of 18 at the free throw line and had 21 total team fouls here in the game, with 13 of them coming in the second half. So tough end to that game, as they went on at one point. Well, it was like a 21-7 or 23-5 run, something like that. It was ridiculous, the run that they went on there in that second half. It was impressive, and fortunately just could not close it out. And again, turnovers were a big reason why this game wound up getting away from the Wildcats late in the second half. But again, they should be very proud of themselves and how they battled there in that game, continued to battle and never back down. And again, they'll go forward, they'll fix some things, and they'll figure out how to turn those games from should have been wins into wins. And like I said earlier, they could go and rattle off a few wins in a row and wind up getting a home playoff game. And if the cards fall right, they could wind up getting a home playoff game. So that's going to do it for Game 1. We're going to get ready for Game 2 of the doubleheader, as it will be the boys' turn to get playing. And the boys' game will feature the Duluth Denfeld Hunters and the Wildcats of Chisago Lake. So will still be the Wildcats, but they'll play the Hunters of Duluth Denfeld here in Game 2. So we're going to get ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader. And then when we return, we will be set and ready to go for Game 2. Again, the Wildcat girls fall to the Whitehawks of Mound Westonka 55-44. Be back after word from our fine sponsors to look at the next 2 teams of this doubleheader.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab a Meat Lover's burrito or new Ranchero beef and cheese burrito. I want one right now. Wash it down with everyone's favorite Celsius, buy one, get one free. And Holiday still has the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store and save. Open 24/7, 365. The Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Baseball and softball coaches, are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the
Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Back here on 100.9 FM, WCMP Cool Country. We're getting ready for our second game of this doubleheader. It's the boys' game where they will play host to Duluth Denfeld. And it looks like for one of the first times this year, Riley Estes is back into the lineup for the Wildcats. So that's good news for them. That'll be nice to have back on the court. But taking a look at these two teams, starting with the Hunters of Duluth Denfeld, well, they do play in the same section. They both play out of Section 7 3A, but two very different seasons at this point. They have 8 teams in this section. Denfeld is third in the section behind Cloquet, who is first in the section at 13-3, Hibbing at 11-6, and then Denfeld at 9-7. Now Denfeld is 9-7 overall. They're 3-2 in section play. Their offense scores 72 points per game while giving up 67 points per game defensively. So as we get ready for this game and making sure I have all the correct players on my stat sheet. But looking at Duluth Denfeld's season up to this point, again, playing out of Section 7 3A, as is Chisago Lakes. For the Hunters, it started off pretty well. 2 wins They beat Duluth East and North Branch, but then they lost 3 in a row to St. Paul Johnson, Cloquet, and St. Paul South, or South St. Paul rather, and they gave up over 70 points in each of those games. But then they beat Hermantown before Christmas break, and that was a pretty lopsided one too. But then they went into a Christmas tournament at Superior, fell to Cherry, and then beat Cambridge Isani. Out of the Christmas break, they lost 2 in a row to Grand Rapids and Blake, but beat Proctor and Duluth Marshall, and lost to Esco. Then they beat, and now have gone on a 3-game win streak, where they have beat Princeton, Superior, and Hermantown. So they have gone on and won 3 in a row. They have scored over 90 points twice this year, once in that win over Hermantown and once again in their win over Princeton. But Princeton has always had the offense and has always had the team to go and score a lot of points. And I lied when I said they only scored 90 points twice. It's been 3 times. Their last time beating Hermantown was another time where they scored 90 points in a game. So for the Hunters of Duluth, Denfeld, again, 2 games over 500 at 9-7. They're 3-2 in their section, 5-2 in their conference. They play out of the Lake Superior Conference, and right now they would be 3rd in that conference behind Superior, who's 5-1, Cloquet 6-2, then Denfeld in 3rd at 5-2. But right behind them is Grand Rapids, also at 5-2, and then right behind them is Hibbing at 4-2. So it's a pretty close race in the Lake Superior Conference battle right now. Superior's at top, but then it's almost a 3-way tie for the second, really, but Cloquet is in second at 6-2, 5-2 for Denfeld and Rapids, and then Hibbing at 4-2. So that should be a conference race that we will look forward to here as we go along. The scoreboard has either been shut off or has lost power, something. We'll make sure we get that fixed, or they do, rather, get that fixed before the start of the game to see how much time we have. But we'll now move over to the Wildcats, who have, again, it's been a tough season. It's been a learning season, a growing season for them. They've had some injuries some key injuries at some really inopportune times this year, and it's been tough for them. You know, Riley Estes has been out for a majority of the season, from my knowledge, and Blake Seifert has been out at times, and currently he's not in the starting lineup as of now, but he has been in and out of that starting lineup. And sometimes just because you're not in the starting lineup doesn't mean that, he's not a good player. He's a really good player. Let's not get it wrong. They just have a different look that they want to give some teams at this point in the season. So we get going forward on this one for the Wildcats. They are at the bottom of Section 7-3A at 1-15, 0-3 on the season. They score 61 points per game while giving up nearly 90 points per game. So it's been tough defensively for this Wildcat team, but there have been some really good games that they have been a part of. Cloquet was the first game of the year. They only lost by 7, but then they would go on and lose four more to go, 0-5 to start this season. But then they have not won in the state of Minnesota yet, but they beat Osceola 88-84. They should have beat North Branch, but they lost that one 80-79. Another game in which they probably felt like they should have won was Hermantown, where they lost by 13, but they have lost since to Centennial, Mounds View, Princeton, another game that they could have won, Cambridge Isani, Zimmerman, St. Francis, Becker, and Monticello. So it has been a tough run this year, but again, it's been a learning season. It's been a growing season for them. It's been a season of, again, a little bit of inconsistency, and they've just run into some really good teams. They have played a lot of good teams from their section, a lot of good teams from their conference. And sometimes that's just how it goes. It's not necessarily that they're a bad team. It's just they've ran into some extremely talented competition and haven't quite found a way to claim victory over them yet. They could have 3-4 more wins on the season, but at this point only 1. But that could change here tonight as they play host to Duluth Denfeld. We're going to get another commercial break here to hear some of our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, we'll talk more about this game and also what's going on maybe in our local listening area. But first, a word from our fine sponsors on WCMP.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Back here on Cool Country 100.9 FM. Over on our other stations on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, it's boys hockey between Pine City and Cambridge Isanti. The last time they played, it was a 1-1 tie. Then over on 95.5 FM, KBEK, it's girls basketball. Mora hosting Long Prairie Grey Eagle. Mac Nelson has the call on that one. And in the boys hockey game, it's Andy Beckstrom. Pete Ballmer is also on that Mora girls basketball game call. Then over on our Q Media Sports Channel 3, it's Adam Hefty calling the Bram girls game against Mille Lacs. On this channel, it's me, Game Day Gilman, at the doubleheader here in Chisago Lakes. Taking a look at Section 7-3A. Their section tournament, or section playoffs, begin Wednesday, March 5th. Their championship will be March 13th. So in a little over a month, we'll have playoffs starting for the boys. And at the end of this month, actually, well, I guess it's not February yet, but at the end of February, we're going to have girls playoffs. So one more commercial break, then we'll have tip-off in the boys' game against Duluth Denfeld here at Chisago Lakes.
Are you ready to get back to doing what you love? Whether it's recovering from an injury or preventing one, Wellia Health Sports Medicine Team is here to help. From kids to adults, we specialize in treating sports injuries, including concussions. We're here to get you back to peak performance. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Visit welliahealth.org.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Now it's time to get our starting lineups here for the boys basketball game, part of the doubleheader. An impressive, wow. Marnarius Ferguson, hope I'm pronouncing that right, did a backflip for his starting lineup debut. But he's going to start for them wearing number 1. Then number 4, Josh Rock. Number 10, Brooks Lee Jr. 11, Carter Brown. And 33, Antonio Brown. They are head coached by Phil Homier, or Hormeri. I'm not sure which one. Again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. On the other side for the Chisago Lakes Wildcats, it will be number 1, Luke Lasuda. Number 2, Colton Betts. Number 3, Joe Cowenhoven. Number 22, Cohen Underhill. And 35, Riley Estes. Now, when they introduced Riley Estes, they said back. So this is his first game back, and he got basically a standing ovation from the crowd. They are excited to have Riley Estes back, and he was a good player in football. Dealt with some injuries during the football season. I don't know if they led into maybe the basketball season, but he was out for a good chunk of the basketball season. We're getting set for tip. It's Underhill and Brown. Carter Brown. We got 2 Browns, so we'll stick with their first names. Carter Brown will win to Antonio, and he'll give it off to Brooks Lee Jr. Hunters have it first. Lee Jr. will try to go inside. Now he'll go all the way across the court there, trying to get it to Ferguson. And battle for Cowenhoven and Carter Brown on the far sideline. They're going to call a jump ball before they went out of bounds, so Chisago gets it. Mike Holmquist, of course, the head coach for the Wildcats. Luke Lasuda bringing it up the court. He'll give it to Underhill for three. No good. And rebounded there by Josh Rock. That'd be a good boxer name or a football name. Now with it, that's Carter Brown. Gives it off now to Lee Jr. Now on the near side, Ferguson. A three. That is long, but Rock again with another rebound for the Hunters. Rock with it again. They'll try and go inside. This ball is off the mark, stolen away by Betts. Betts gives it back to Lasuda. Inside Estes. And that one was blocked by Brown. I don't think Estes knew that he had the defender that close. Otherwise, he probably would have had a little bit more urgency putting that layup in. But I think he thought that one was an easy one. But no, the defenders were right there. Now Underhill will get the rebound on a missed three on the far side from Ferguson. And we'll get a foul call on the Hunters. This one's going to go against Antonio Brown. Scoreless here with under 17 left. Lasuda trying to get into the front court. He gives it over to, tried to give it over to Betts, but that pass a little too far out in front of Betts, and it will go back to the Hunters. Hunters wearing their white away uniforms, the maroon letters and numbers outlined in that yellow, and then the two maroon stripes down the side of the jersey, two maroon stripes at the bottom of the short. And this ball nearly stolen away by Betts into the far side, near side corner for Ferguson. Now he'll go over to Carter Brown. Carter Brown looks, gives back to Lee Jr. Lee Jr. gives over to Ferguson. Ferguson to Carter Brown for three. That's going to be no good, but Rock gets the rebound. Rock can't drop it in for two, and now we've got a rebound for Underhill once again. Underhill up the court with it. He'll go to the basket and lay it in for two, and the game's first points are put up by the Wildcats. Wildcats wearing their home green uniforms, the gold trim on the neck and sleeve of the jersey, the two gold stripes on the bottom of the short, the Wildcat logo on each side of the short, the white letters and numbers outlined in gold as well. Ferguson quick moves and then draws the foul. I think they might get Betts on that one. Yeah, they will. So Betts will get his first foul, and Ferguson will go to the line to shoot two. If you don't hear me say his first name, I apologize. I do not want to botch that first name. It's a unique first name, so I don't want to mess it up. First one's up and good for Ferguson. I think it's Marnaris. Again, that's why I don't want to say it, because I don't want to completely botch it. Ferguson drops them both in. So we're tied at 2. Meanwhile, the Wildcats come back up the other way. Lasuda gives to Betts now on the near side, Underhill. Underhill to Estes. Estes going to drive inside, picks up the shot. Again, blocked that time by Antonio Brown. And stolen away. Didn't quite see who got the steal. I think it might have been Carter Brown or Brooks Lee Jr. It was one of those two guys. Hunters slowing it down, waiting for the play call. Now they'll drift to the near side, back and forth. Lasuda will get the steal. And to the basket, Joe Cowenhoven with the slam. The dunk from Joe Cowenhoven for 2. Blake Seifert getting ready to check in for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Rock has it for the Hunters on the far side, trying to drive on Estes. Not much doing there. Ferguson thought about the long three. We get a travel on Ferguson. And the Hunters head coach, Phil Homier, he's got a point. I don't know if that was a travel. I think he was just stepping to fake the throw. He didn't pick up that back foot. Meanwhile, Blake Seifert will check in for the Wildcats. Believe he came in for Betts. So Underhill will get set to inbound, trying to get it into Lasuda. Lasuda is going to get dealt to double teamed. He gets through the double team, but it is then going to be stolen away by Brooks Lee Jr. And now we get a and one from Carter Brown, who dropped it in for 2. And Seifert with his first foul. And this one is good. So Carter Brown, with the 3-point play. Meanwhile, back up the other way. Here come the Wildcats, and we get a foul here on the Hunters. This one will be called on Brooks Lee Jr. And checking in for the Hunters will be number 14, Ethan Ames. Wildcats will get set to inbound out of the foul. Cowenhoven trying to get it into someone, but it's well over everybody. Stolen away by Ferguson. Ferguson, no good on the shot, but he's fouled. He'll go to line and shoot 2. And I think they got Lasuda. His first team's 3rd, and Ferguson will go to line and shoot 2. He was good on his last 2. First one's up and good. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh no, the announcer's jinx. But he breaks the announcer's jinx right there. That one's good as well. So he hits them both. Got a few bodies on the floor, but we're back up. Cohen Underhill driving inside. Shot is up. Oh, just off the mark. It rolled over the rim. Ames with the rebound for the Hunters. Carter Brown going to get fouled. They get this one on Lasuda, his 2nd. Team's 4th. Betts will check back in for Lasuda. And it looks like we'll get one more in and out. Alex Johnson in for Estes. Inbound. Shot is up. And good for Carter Brown on the inbound to him. 9-4. I missed the free throw by one of the other young men. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Brooks Lee Jr. Lee Jr. has it back. He'll give it over to Ames. Ames wanting to go inside to Antonio Brown. This one, no dice there from Ferguson, and Underhill will get the rebound. Brings it up the court. Had it poked out from behind, but Cowenhoven was going to get it back in the back court. Now he drives inside. A floater off the backboard, no good. Oh, rebound was up for grabs. No one for Chisago Lakes was there. Ferguson's going to get it instead. A long 3. Good from Ferguson. Oh, my goodness. Ferguson from deep for a 3, and it's 12-4. Timeout's going to be called by Chisago Lakes. They'll be left with 4. Didn't quite see if it was a full or a 30. We'll keep it here. Guessing with the music being played, it's a full, but we'll give it here instead. A 12-4 lead now for the Hunters of Duluth Denfeld. 13:21 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Wildcats will get back out onto the court. And now for the Wildcats is 25, Colton Beaver. And Rock is in for the Hunters. Wildcats will inbound to Betts, and then Seifert gets called for the travel. He took 2 steps, but not 3. You're allowed 3, but they're going to get him for the travel. So another turnover here by the Wildcats. Ferguson will inbound to Lee Jr. We'll give it over to Ferguson. Ferguson looking. Now give it off to Rock. Joshua Rock to Brooks Lee Jr. in the far side corner to Ferguson. Thought about 3, pulls it down through some traffic and gets it off to Carter Brown. That shot up and no good. Rebounded by Ames, and he puts it in for 2. Makes it 14-4. Betts has it to Beaver now to Cowenhoven. On the far side, Seifert to Betts for 3, no good. Alex Johnson Try to get the rebound. They're going to say it went out of bounds off of him. So Hunters get it back. It's Brooks Lee Jr. Up the court, and as he gets in the offensive zone, gives it to Ferguson. Ferguson, another long three. Tries to draw a foul, but not going to get it that time. But he makes a three anyways. 17-4. Betts, spin move. Got the defender to go by, and then the long two is good from Colton Betts. 17-6. Good move there by Colton Betts. Here come the Hunters. Joshua Rock inside, trying to get up a shot. Wow, it's good. Don't know how he got that one off so cleanly, but a good shot. 19-6 now. Wildcats slow things down a little bit, and a flop there from Lee Jr. trying to draw the foul. That was a clear flop, and then from Collinhoven back out to his teammate, rebounded on the miss by Carter Brown, up to Ferguson. Shot is up over Seifert, no good. Rebounded by Alex Johnson. Cowenhoven to Seifert for three. It's off the mark, off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Cowenhoven, who can't get it to drop either, and it's rebounded by Lee Jr. Lee Jr. from the top of the key for three. That's good. Brooks Lee Jr. from three makes it 22-6. Near side corner for Colton Beaver. Oh, just off the mark. Another rebound for Brooks Lee Jr. He'll work it up the court, now into the offense. Slows it down and takes a moment to catch his breath, then gives it off to Rock on the far side. Rock dribbles into the far side corner, and that ball is knocked out of bounds by Colton Beaver. We're going to get 24 in for the first time here tonight, Berkeley Messel. Estes in, as well as Underhill and Will Walker. On the far side, Joshua Rock left open from three, but that's no good. And Underhill gets the rebound. Underhill going to use his speed to get up the court. Trying to drop it in, but a little too hard on the shot. Antonio Brown gets the rebound. And then to Ferguson. No, not that Antonio Brown. This one is has a lot better character. We'll put it that way. Ferguson getting around the defender. Back to Rock now. Going to get a travel call. Travel on Ferguson. The ball will go back to Chisago Lakes. Betts bringing it forward. He hands it to Beaver. Colton Beaver back to Betts. Inside Underhill. Underhill to Estes. Estes trying to find somewhere to go with it. Lost it. Picks it back up again. Give back out to Betts for three. That's going to come up well short. Underhill tries to keep it alive, but it's going to then be stolen away by Joshua Rock. Up the court quickly to Ferguson. Drops it in for two plus the and one. And they'll get Colton Betts with his second foul, team's fifth. And now Ferguson at the line for the possible three-point play. Lee Jr. will check in, as will Asuda for Wildcats. Ferguson can't drop that one in, so first time he's missed a free throw, but then he somehow finds a way to get the ball back on the rebound to put it back in for two, so it's 26-6. Asuda on the far side, give to Walker, to Underhill, now to Beaver, and that pass to Beaver went behind him, and it will be a turnover, and the ball will go back to the Hunters. Rock will get set to inbound. And he gives it in to Brooks Lee Jr. Works it up the court, and he'll hand it off to Ferguson. Ferguson to Rock, back to Lee Jr. Trying to get something open. Now they'll pass it off. They'll try to find Lee Jr. That pass to Rock on the far side. He pulls it down. Now inside Antonio Brown. Give outside to Rock. Nearly lost the ball, guarded by Lasuda. 8 seconds to shoot. Rock shot inside, and he gets it to fall for two. 28-6. So Lasuda up the court quickly. No-look pass on the near side for Will Walker. That's no good. Ferguson with the rebound. Ferguson going to take it up the court. Give near side corner. Brooks Lee Jr. instead gives it off on the far side. That ball was tipped out of bounds by a member of the Wildcats, and it will stay with Duluth Denfeld. Rock inbound to Lee Jr. Now inside to Messel. Messel tries to go through contact, but is fouled. He'll line and shoot 2. This one's going to be called on Underhill. His first, team's 6th. 8:42 to go. Wildcats trailing that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard 28-6. Shot is good from Messel. And Messel drops them both in. Okay, so now I think they switched the foul to Will Walker. Well, now they say it's on Underhill. Okay. Inbound to Cowenhoven. It's 30-6. Cowenhoven gives it off near side to Underhill for 3. That's off the mark. Cowenhoven up over everybody to get the rebound, and then it was swatted out by a member of Duluth Denfeld. 8:31 to go. Substitution, Seifert will come in for Will Walker. And then Cowenhoven will go on the baseline to inbound. Inbound to Underhill on the far side. To Cowenhoven. Cowenhoven. They got a foul on Cowenhoven somehow. Dribbling the basketball. Not, I don't know about that one. I'm going to respectfully disagree and move on. 30-6. Denfeld has it back. Brooks Lee Jr. with it. Takes it to the top of the key, fakes the shot. Then the shot from Ferguson is blocked by Seifert. Seifert trying to get something going for his team, trying to get some sort of momentum, some big play to spark. Ferguson ducks inside the three-point line. The shot is no good. Underhill grabs the rebound. Up the court, Underhill goes to Cowenhoven. Near side, 3 is that one is good. 30-9. Lee Jr. has it. Drifts near side, now back to the far side. Looking to Carter Brown, and that's where he'll go with it. Give it back to Lee Jr. He thought about going to Ferguson and then passed it inside to Antonio Brown. Shot's no good. Lee Jr. there for the rebound and drops it in for 2. 32-9. Wildcats quickly up the court. Betts, Seifert, near side. Cowenhoven, Estes. I thought he could have drove to the basket there, but instead dribbled away for a moment. Maybe it was the play call, but shot is no good. Messel with the rebound. Quickly up the court, Carter Brown. Guarded by Betts. Lost it, and it will be picked up and stolen away by Cowenhoven. Up the court quickly, going to split the defenders to the basket, and he drops it in for 2. Cowenhoven turned on the Jets on that one, 32-11. And he did a great job dribbling through 2 defenders to lay that one in. Lee Jr. has it for the Hunters. He'll go inside Messel. Messel trying to go to Antonio Brown. Ball is up for grabs, nearly stolen away by Betts. Now outside Carter Brown, and he drops it in for 3. 35-11. Betts, near side, Cowenhoven, 3, no good. And that is Carter Brown with the rebound. Slowing it down just a tad. Gives it off now to Lee Jr. He's kind of alone on the near side of the court, so he'll dribble. Well, thought about dribbling back to the left, but then he gives it to Carter Brown inside. Then this ball nearly stolen away by Cowenhoven. It's knocked out of bounds. And now we'll see checking in for the first time for the Hunters is number 32, Cole Abernathy. And for the Wildcats, it's 34, Will Pearson. Inbound, they'll go deep to Carter Brown, who's on the elbow Now trying to dribble in on Underhill. Now stutter, stop, start, and he takes to the basket. Reverse layup, no good. Messel with the rebound, that's no good. And then taken in by Pearson. Go to Seifert. Seifert pulls it down, gets around one defender, gives it near side to Betts for three. No good. Rebound up for grabs. It's going to be Messel. Messel's done a good job coming in off the bench, getting some rebounds here for the Hunters. Meanwhile, Lee Jr. gives it to Carter Brown. A long three on the far side elbow. No good. Seifert up over everybody. Grabs the rebound. Pulls it down. Up the court quickly to Betts. And Counhoven can't drop it in. Pearson had the rebound. Now swatted out and stolen away by Carter Brown. Give over to Lee Jr. And Lee Jr. is going to travel. And the ball will go back to the Wildcats. Wow, a missed opportunity by Counhoven on the other side, but a nice job to force the travel by Seifert to get the ball back. 5:30 to go. Underhill inside, takes it to the basket and drops it in for two. Good move there by Underhill to make it 35-13. Lee Jr. Again, slowing things down now off to Carter Brown on the far side to Ferguson. Want to go back to Lee Jr., but he'll take it inside himself. That ball is knocked out from behind by the Wildcats. It will stay with Denfeld. Beaver and Lasuda in for Cowenhoven and Betts. 5:09 now left in the first half. 18 seconds on that shot clock. Lee Jr. will inbound, trying to go right underneath the basket to Messel, and oh my, it somehow rolled in. 37-13, up the court quickly to Colton Beaver. Now back to Lasuda. Lasuda over to the far side, Seifert, inside Underhill. Underhill trying to bully his way in. He stops. Now he wanted to go back to Seifert, but has to go to Lasuda instead. Now to Beaver. Beaver on the near side elbow. Dribbles out. Calling the offense. Tells Lasuda to go one way. Then gives it over to Seifert on the far side. Seifert to Pearson. Pearson trying to bully his way in. No go there. 9 seconds to go. This ball may have been tipped, but it's stolen away by Ferguson. Ferguson give off to Lee Jr. Shot is not going to be good because of an offensive charge. Did they get Ferguson or they did get Ferguson? His first, team's third. 37-13. Hunters lead on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. Beaver in trouble, gives it to Lasuda just in time, and now Seifert. Open three on that far side, no good. Rebounded by Lasuda. Back to Seifert, to Underhill. Underhill, no good from the free throw line, and Messel grabs the rebound. Maybe could have had a foul there, but not called. Lee Jr. gets the ball from Ferguson. A spin around three is good. Nasty move there by Brooks Lee Jr. 40-13. Lasuda give to Beaver, and then inside to Underhill, and Underhill's fouled. Go to line and shoot two. This one is going to go against Messel rather. His first, team's fourth, but so Underhill will shoot two. No good on the first one. Will Walker and Alex Johnson in for the Wildcats for Seifert and Pearson. Also in, we got a sub for the Hunters. That's 25. Riley McKean. Carter Brown has it over to McKeon. Inside to Abernathy. Shot is no good. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Will Walker tried to go to Alex Johnson. Maybe one too many passes there on that opportunity. Turnover will go back to the Hunters. 3:36 to go. 40-13 is the Hunters' lead. Lee Jr. takes it up the court. Gives back to Carter Brown. Now on the far side there to Ames. And this ball going to be put up for grabs to someone, but it's stolen away by the Wildcats Beaver. And a two there. not see if it was by Beaver, Lasuda, I'm not sure. Maybe in Cowenhoven. Either way, it's 40-15. Ball goes out of bounds. Hunters will retain possession as it was knocked out by a member of the Wildcats. This ball going to be stolen away again by Beaver. Beaver with the steal gives it up to Walker. Walker back to Beaver. Over to Lasuda. Cowenhoven on the far side. Knocked out of his hands by a member of the Hunters. Now trying to drive inside, and he draws the foul. He'll go to line and shoot 2. Foul there on Abernathy. 5th team foul, first for him. Lasuda out, in is Betts. Cowenhoven will get the ball inbounded to him. Shot is up and good, plus he draws the foul. Cowenhoven. And that one's on Abernathy again, his second, team 6th. Johnson out, in is Estes. Underhill in, out is Beaver. So now Cowenhoven trying to make it a 3-point play. And he does. So 3-point play to make it 40-18. Meanwhile, Ferguson for the Hunters brings it forward. Thought about giving it off, but takes it himself and now gives off near side to Lee Jr. Pass inside to McKeon. He's struggling with it, and then he'll give it over to Joshua Rock. His shot is no good. May have had a hand on it, rebounded by Underhill. Ball is up for grabs, but Underhill gets it back. Over to Betts now. Betts on the far side. Try to give it back to Underhill, stolen away by Rock as that pass was too high, and Rock will drop it in for 2. 42-18. Betts on the far side to Walker. Now to Cowenhoven, to Estes. Estes inside. They're going to get a foul on the floor on Ferguson. It's the 7th, so Estes will shoot a 1-and-1. First one's up and good for Estes, so he'll get another opportunity. Seifert back in for the Wildcats. Estes kisses it off the glass, so he makes them both to make it 42-20. And Brooks Lee Jr. will slow things down. 1.5 minutes left here in the first half. Hunters leading by 22. On the Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, Lee Jr. give to Ferguson. Ferguson pauses, gives it to Ames. Ames now back to Lee Jr. Goes to Ferguson. Ferguson, a jumper off the glass, no good. Estes is there for the rebound. He'll give it off now to Underhill. Underhill battles through some traffic. They're going to now get a foul call here on the Hunters. It'll be on number 4, Joshua Rock. His first, team's 8th, and at the line to shoot a 1-1 is Cohen Underhill. Beaver will check in for Betts. Underhill is good on the first. 42-21. Second one is good. So Cohen Underhill, 2 for 2 on that trip. 42-22 is the score with 1:10 to go. Legion will give it to Rock, and then on the far side, a 3 is no good for the Hunters. It was rebounded for a moment by Beaver, stolen back by Ferguson. His shot is no good and rebounded by Seifert. And now Cowenhoven inside. Shot is no good. But he drew the foul somewhere late. It'll be the 9th team foul on the Hunters, the 2nd for Antonio Brown. And Cowenhoven will now shoot 2. First one by Cowenhoven is good. And Cowenhoven drops them both in. So 42-24, under a minute to go, 40 seconds now. Lee Jr. looks, gives to Ferguson. Clamoring is their sideline saying, hey, cover Ferguson, but now Rock is left open for 3. Instead, they'll give it inside to Antonio Brown. He lets everybody go around him, and he drops it in for 2. That's just a smart play by Antonio Brown. 44-24. Bringing it up the court is Beaver. He'll give it to Underhill on the far side. Shot clock is off, 18 seconds to go. Cowenhoven trying to take it inside. He was bumped and got that one to fall. Good-looking shot again by him, 44-26. Lee Jr. will probably look to take the last shot. 5 seconds, 4. They're going to allow Ferguson to have it. Gives to Lee Jr. for 3. No good. And that will do it for the first half of play. The Hunters lead at half, 44-26 over your Wildcats. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. I promise it's not the final. That is what it showed on our screen, but it is only halftime. 44-26, Wildcats trail the Hunters here at the halftime period. We'll take a commercial break, hear a word from our sponsors, then we'll be back for a recap of the first half of play on Cool Country WCMP.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab CK Oil, save $2 when you buy 2, or CK Diesel DEF treatment for only $23.99. While you're at Holiday, they still have the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items, and Refresh Team Spirit with Mountain Dew are 3 for $6, or Celsius, buy one get one free. Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on Cool Country, this doubleheader, the second game of the doubleheader. The boys hosting Duluth Denfeld, but the Hunters lead at half, 44-26. Taking a look at some of the first half stats for the Hunters. Leading the way for them was Ferguson with 14, 8 for both Brooks Lee Jr. and Carter Brown, 6 for Joshua Rock, 4 for Berkeley Messel, and then 2 for Antonio Brown and Ethan Ames. They had 8 steals, 2 blocks. They were 7 of 8 from the free throw line and had 9 fouls as a team. For the Wildcats, leading the way for them was Joe Cowenhoven with 14 points, 6 for Underhill, 2 then for Betts, Estes, and Beaver. 6 rebounds to lead the team for Underhill, 5 total steals, 1 block. They were 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That sounded familiar. Yeah, it's because that's what the Hunters had. And they had 7 team fouls. So some similar stats there in the first half for both of these teams, but the only stat that matters that is not even is the Hunters have the lead 44-26. I thought the Wildcats played well at times, but again, it's at times. It's just about them finding more consistency with their team here throughout the season, and in this first half did not have the consistency that they would have liked to have had here in the first half. They had, again, 5 steals. They turned the ball over on the Hunters a few times, but just unfortunately couldn't swing that momentum. And waiting for an announcement, but wanted to make sure that it was important, and it is. There's pizza slices for $1 right now. I might have to go and grab about 5-6 of them. Either way, back to talking about the first half. No, they played well. It's just the consistency. They did not have it there in the first half, and they just weren't able to fully swing momentum in their favor. They had a few opportunities. They had a few times where things were looking good, where things were kind of leaning in their direction, but that momentum just never fully swung their way. And even though they played hard, Denfeld still leads by 18, but it was that late surge, late in that first half that the Wildcats had that is the reason that this game isn't more lopsided. This game is under 20 points due to the sole fact that the Wildcats had an immense effort there at the end of that first half to try and get back into it. Their defense, their whole team actually just kind of realized, hey, we're not playing up to what we should be. We're going to be soon, this is going to be out of reach, and then we're not going to be able to get back into it. And they realized that. They came out with some purpose there after a timeout, and then kind of really their defense looked a little bit different. They looked a lot better. They looked like they had some hustle to them. They looked like they were playing with purpose, and they got some turnovers, forced the Hunters to miss some shots, got some important rebounds, and got back the other way and scored quickly with some nice threes, and even drove inside for some hard-fought twos. But for the Wildcats, they just didn't do it consistently enough for it to be a little bit of a closer game. But that doesn't mean that the Wildcats can't turn things around. Just means that they're going to have to try a little bit harder in the second half. Offensively, I think they've rushed things a little bit too quickly. Offensively, I think they need to slow it down just a tad, and that might be counterintuitive to some, but I think they need to slow it down and just a tad. Not a lot, just a tad, because I think they're rushing things, and they're not getting their feet set. They're not looking at the basket. It's been a little bit discombobulated, so I think they need to slow things down just ever so slightly. Again, not a lot, just a little bit as they go forward here in this game. But you got to give the Hunters credit. They did make some big shots. They got some really quick guys out there who have done a good job with the ball handling, and they do a good job of kind of being patient with their offense. Although their offense moves quickly, they do a good job of being patient with the offense and being steady and so calm, cool, and collected, and not really getting out of sorts and just playing well offensively. Then defensively, they do a good job to clog some of the lanes. But the Wildcats are showing that they're not going to back down easy, that they're going to use some of that strength that they have to kind of bully their way inside the paint and try and find some of those shots. So I think for the Wildcats, they need to slow things down just a tad on offense, and then also make sure they're being a little bit more aggressive, trying to draw some more fouls from the Hunters, get to the free throw line, because, again, they were 7-8 from that free throw line, so get some free points if you can. And defensively, there's not a whole lot that you would change just because they're playing pretty well, but transition defense is one of the bigger ones, and then making sure that they're playing assignment sound as well. We're going to get one more commercial break, and then we'll be back after a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP Cool Country 100.9
Untangling
FM.
your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Got some updates from around our games here tonight. In Bram, the Bram girls lead over Mille Lacs 23-4. In that boys hockey game, Cambridge Isani leads Pine City after 1-0. And over in Mora, the Mora girls lead Long Prairie Grey Eagle 33-14. Good games going on in our local listening area. A little bit of a slow start. Adam Hefty is saying they did not score in that Bram girls game until the 10-minute mark. That's tough. But Bram did play last night against a top 5 team in Proctor, so that could be a little bit of a reason why, whether they're probably a little bit gassed, quite honestly. We are getting set for the second half of action here in this boys' game of the doubleheader between the Hunters of Duluth Denfeld and your Chisago Lakes Wildcats. 44-26 is the score. Hunters will inbound and start with the ball here in the second half. They'll go right to left on your radio dial. Wildcats left to right. Hunters start with it. It's Lee Jr. on the far side. Head fake. Spin around back. Gives it off to Ferguson. Now inside to Rock. Joshua Rock back outside. Looking to Ferguson. Ferguson lost it. Estes with the steal. And he'll give it up the court to Cowenhoven. Nice Euro step. Couldn't complete it. And he got his own rebound, but that one's going to be no good. And then it's taken by Lee Jr. for the rebound. Quickly up the court to Ferguson. Ferguson step inside the three-point line and drops it in for 2. Ferguson is just so quick. He's got that quick twitch to him, and, man, he can make you pay. Wildcats back up with it the other way. Pass to Cowenhoven over his head. Lasuda gets it back before it's an over and back call. Then inside to Estes. Estes trying to find a lane to the basket. Turnaround shot. Oh, it slipped out of his hand. Rebounded by Lee Jr. Lee Jr. stops. Thought about 3. Then to Antonio Brown. Now to Rock. Back out Brooks Lee, and Cowenhoven is going to get the face of Brooks Lee Jr., and yeah, that's a foul. Lee Jr. will get the inbound from Rock. Now he'll give it off to Carter Brown for 3. 49-26. Wildcats, meanwhile, are going to go back up the court the other way quickly. Cowenhoven trying to drive baseline. He lost it. Goes out of bounds, and it will go back to the Hunters. Cowenhoven visibly upset, shaking his head, and Blake Seifert will check in for Cowenhoven. I think Coach Holmquist just wants to talk to him and tell him, hey, it's okay, it's okay. You know, just move on. Lee Jr. brings it up the court from Ferguson and then get to Carter Brown. Gives it back to Ferguson. Ferguson underneath to Rock, and Rock drops it in for 2. Good pass there to make it 51-26, and just like that, it's a 25-point lead for the Hunters. Blake Seifert with it. He's going to drive baseline. A little floater, too much on it. Rebound up for grabs. Lasuda's going to have it. And near side corner to Blake Seifert. Back out Lasuda. Now over to Betts. Betts had an opportunity for three. Gives it inside to Estes. His shot is up, no good. He'll go to line and shoot two. First foul of the second half on the Hunters. This one will go against Antonio Brown. So Estes now at the line for two. This one no good. Estes no good on both. That's rebounded by Carter Brown. Don't see him take the ball at the court too often, but gets it forward to Rock inside to Antonio Brown. Now underneath to Lee Jr., who drops it in for two. 53-26. This pass, not sure who it was intended for, but it's stolen away by Ferguson. Ferguson to Carter Brown on the far side. Carter Brown spin move to Ferguson in that far side corner for three. It's no good. Lasuda is going to get the rebound, and then they're going to get Brooks Lee Jr. for the foul. That was close, a little bit ticky-tacky. He will pick up his second and the team's second. Cole Beaver in for Betts. Seifert inbound to Lasuda. Lasuda up the court, gives it off to Underhill. Underhill looked at Seifert, but he'll pull it now, give it on the far side to Beaver. Back to Lasuda. Lasuda, bounce pass inside to Estes. Estes nearly lost it. Estes trying to bully his way in. Off the glass, it's no good, and Antonio Brown with the rebound. Ferguson. He has it on the far side. Trying to get around the defender. Oh, and then we're going to get a foul here on the Wildcats. Second team foul, the third on Lasuda. Into the game for the first time here tonight is number 3, Marcel Hendricks. So the Hunters will inbound out of the foul to Lee Jr. Hendricks with it, now to Ferguson, now over to Brooks Lee Jr., and the shot there banks it off the backboard for two, or Carter Brown. Beaver to Betts, now over to Underhill to Seifert. Seifert trying to drive baseline, turnaround jumper from just outside the paint is no good. Ferguson with the rebound, 55-26. Lee Jr. drives baseline, his shot no good, rebounded by Beaver, and then stolen right back by Joshua Rock. Rock will reset the offense. Now into Lee Jr. Lee Jr. drops it in for two. 57-26. Now the score, the Wildcats have, or the Hunters have check. So we dropped the wallet. Either way, the Hunters have now pulled out to a 31-point lead over the Wildcats. The timeout called by the Wildcats here, a full timeout, 13:51 to go. 57-26, a rough start to the second half for the Wildcats, as the Hunters have just said, hey, let's do what we did offensively in the first half and just kind of expand on that, and that's what they've done a really good job, and there's been no slowing down for the Hunters in this second half of action. In fact, they might just be pushing the pace even further. So out of the timeout, back to action as the teams work their way back out onto the court. It will be Wildcat ball. Seifert, Betts, Underhill, Beaver, and Alex Johnson in the game. Seifert with it to the basket. No good. Rebound. Going to get to Carter Brown. Ferguson with it. Give to Lee. Shot is up. No good. Taken by Beaver. They've got numbers. Alex Johnson lets that one go by. Blocked from behind, but Seifert's right there to put it in for 2. Blocked by Ferguson, but Seifert was right there to grab it back. Ferguson left alone for 3. No good. It rattles out. Oh, my goodness. How did Carter Brown come and get that one? I don't know where he came out of. He came out of thin air. And this ball going to be knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats, so we'll stay with the Hunters. Ferguson has it. Trying to get around the defender, Betts. Betts, good job, but now Ferguson finds a lane, and he'll drop it in for 2. 59-26. Betts up the court quickly to Underhill. Ooh, he had a shot from 3, but pulls it down instead, gives it to Betts to Seifert on that far side, to Beaver, inside to Johnson, and then the pass to Betts is stolen away by Ferguson. Oh, Brooks Lee is open. No good from 3. Betts with the rebound. Betts. Shot is up and good from 2. And, oh! Betts dropped it in for 2. And maybe could have been a charge. Thought Ferguson got there, but they say he didn't. It'll be Ferguson's 3rd. Checking in for the Hunters, I think, is Jackson White. But Betts set the line for the possible 3-point play, and that one's good. So he makes it 59-29. The Hunters come back the other way quickly. Ferguson with it. He slipped. He kept his dribble going with that hand. Then the shot is up and no good. Cowenhoven with the rebound. Cowenhoven brings it up the court. Gives it off Betts. Betts on the far side. Inside to Johnson. Johnson trying to push his way in. Lost it. And Ferguson yet another steal. Ferguson trying to give inside. Lost the ball. Shot is up. No good there from... I see number 2. That is number 2, Ethan Nault. So Nault will shoot 2. And Betts was called for the foul, which is his 3rd. And the team's 3rd. So Ethan Nault at the line for Duluth Denfeld. First one is good. Makes it 60-29. Back in is Messel for Carter Brown for the Hunters. And no good on the second. But it was rebounded by Cowenhoven. Cowenhoven drives inside, puts up a floater. Shot is no good. Cowenhoven going to get the rebound, but that one's no good. And then rebounded by Messel. Up to Hendricks for 3, and that's good. Marcel Hendricks for 3, 63-29. Excuse me, 31. And then Alex Johnson drops it in for 2, so 63-34, or 33 rather. 11.5 to go. Ferguson with it. Oh my goodness, how did he keep his? Oh my goodness, what a play there by Ferguson. Then he gives it off to Messel for 2. 65-33. Pace has picked up a little bit, and the scores have followed. So Walker give to Betts, now over to Beaver on the far side. Cowenhoven. He wants to drive inside, put up a shot. There was a hand on that. Rebound is up for grabs. Beaver had it. And then gives it back to Messel on the steal. On the far side, Hunters looking for somewhere open to go with it. Hendricks wanted to give to Messel, but now in some trouble. Messel then left alone from 3. That's no good. Cowenhoven will get the rebound. 2-on-2 the other way. Cowenhoven drops it in for 2 plus the and 1. We'll get this one on. Messel his 2nd, team's 4th. Underhill, Estes, and Lasuda in for the Wildcats for Betts, Johnson, and Beaver. Abernathy in for Ferguson. So it's 65-35, and Cowenhoven has a chance for the three-point play. No good. It will be rebounded by Messel, so Cowenhoven will only get 2 there. And Messel with the rebound. 65-35. Ball is stolen away by Cowenhoven. 1-on-1. They're going to get, I think, a carry here on Cowenhoven. 10.5 minutes to go, 65-35. And we got a timeout by Chisago Lakes. It'll be a full timeout, so that will, while they take one, we'll take one as well.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Back on Cool Country 100.9 FM. Chisago Lakes boys hosting Duluth Denfeld, trailing 65-35 with 10.5 minutes to go. Inbound for the Hunters. It's Jackson White. He gives it up to Nault, Ethan Nault. Now gives it over to Abernathy. Abernathy trying to direct traffic, gives it to White. White trying to get around the defenders. Pulls up from 3. That's going to be well off the mark. And attempted rebound there by Abernathy, but he was on the baseline. So it will be Wildcat ball. Lasuda up the court. Inside, give to Underhill. Underhill trying to get through the wave of traffic. Shot is up, no good. I think Estes got the rebound. Now he's inside. Shot is no good, and Messel will grab the rebound for the Hunters. And as Jackson White will fall to the floor, and he fell with the basketball, but then he stepped, as he fell, he slipped on the sideline, so that is going to be Wildcat ball. Blake Seifert for 3, banks it in. Seifert banks it in to make it 38, and the Hunters still have 65. Ethan Nault has it. Give to Messel. Messel. Bounce pass inside to Antonio Brown, but it rolls its way to Jackson White. Inside Messel. Spin move. Oh, what a spin move. And then the shot no good. Seifert will get the rebound. Seifert going to take it all the way. Euro step around the defender and drops it in for 2. 65-40. On the far side, Abernathy give to Antonio Brown inside. Trying to give it over now, and outside, a 3 from Jackson White. It's off the mark. Estes is there for the rebound. Give to Underhill, and Underhill's going to draw the foul on that far side corner. It'll be the 5th team foul on the Hunters, and it will be on Jackson White, his first. Walker will inbound to Lasuda, left alone for 3. It got the friendly roll. Woo! It took a little while, but it got the roll it needed. 65-43, Wildcats still trail on that Brace Orthodontics scoreboard. Nault with it. He'll give it over on the far side to Abernathy. Abernathy now to Antonio Brown. This is going to be stolen away by Cohen Underhill. Not sure what happened there. He was looking for the layup, but it was well off the mark, and Abernathy got the rebound. And Abernathy may have gotten away with a little bit of a travel, but gives it up the court. Now on the far side, a three is going to be no good. Walker gets the rebound for Chisago Lakes. Seifert for three. That's good. 65-46. Seifert looking like he's starting to heat up out there. And I think we got a timeout called by Duluth Denfeld. They're saying, hey, what's going on all of a sudden as the Wildcats have mounted a little bit of a comeback. 30-second timeout by the Hunters. We'll keep it here, 65-46. Wildcats have come back in this one and have cut the deficit to 19. It was nearly 30 at one point. But now it's down to 19, and the Wildcats trying to make this huge comeback. But the Hunters will bring in most of their 5 starters, but one. They will inbound. It's Brooks Lee Jr. Carter Brown for three. It's off the mark and rebounded by Colton Beaver. He's been pretty much a rebound machine here tonight. Cowenhoven looking for the foul. Didn't get it, and ball was knocked out of bounds by Denfeld. Surprised that wasn't a foul, but it is what it is. Seifert will get the inbound from long range three. It's no good. Ferguson will get the rebound. Timeout seemed to have helped the Hunters. Now Ferguson will pull up just inside the three-point line. Shot is no good, but Rock is there for the rebound. Rock in some trouble. He gives it out to Carter Brown. And on that far side, Rock. On the near side, Ferguson. Ferguson will draw the foul from Seifert. His second and the team's fourth. Rock will inbound to Brooks Lee now. He gives it off to McKeon. That ball is stolen away by Betts. Betts to Cowenhoven inside. Cowenhoven drops it in for two. 65-48. Lee Jr. with it. Thought about giving it off. Instead, he'll wait for Ferguson to come open on the far side, and that's who he gives it to. Just inside the three-point line, drops it in for two. 67-48. A three for Cowenhoven. Comes up well short, and then Ferguson gets the rebound. He gives it off to Lee Jr. Spin around. Shot is up. No good. And, oh, my goodness, somehow the rebound gets to Rock. And I think we're going to get a foul here on the Wildcats. That will be on Seifert, his third. Team's fifth, and Joshua Rock is at the line for two for the Hunters. First one is no good. Underhill will come in for Seifert. Rock is good on his second. One of two there, 68-48. Beaver with it, trying to give it on the far side to Betts. And ball is knocked out of bounds by the Hunters. So Wildcats will inbound to Cowenhoven to Estes. Estes had it knocked out by McKeon. And he'll get the steal. Rock gives it in the near side corner, looking for Ferguson, but Brooks Lee will drive around. Now give it to Ferguson. Thought about the long three. Inside for two, and that's good. 70-48. Betts, spin move, can't get around Ferguson though. He'll give it up to Beaver. Now to Cowenhoven. Oh, we're going to get an over and back on Cowenhoven. He was close. I didn't think he went over, though, but Maybe his foot slipped. So a turnover. Ball goes back to Denfeld. Well, Pearson checks in for Estes. 70-48, 5:25 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Inbound, Brooks Lee. Joshua Rock was open from 3 on the far side. Instead, he will give it inside to McKeon, and McKeon was fouled. 16 foul on the Wildcats. This one's going to go on Will Pearson, his first. That will allow the Hunters to inbound. McKeon and then to Brooks Lee. He's driving around, trying to go inside. Shot is up and good, plus he drew the and one. The 7th team foul now on the Wildcats. This one on Cowenhoven, his third. So Brooks Lee will look for the three-point play. And he's got it. Three-point play for Brooks Lee, and it's 73-48. Underhill with it on the other side for the Wildcats, but it is knocked out and stolen away by Rock. So Denfeld has it back. There's Lee. Give over to Ferguson, now back. Masuda nearly with the steal, but somehow Lee kept it. And Ferguson, no look pass inside to McKeon, and he drops it in for 2. 75-48. Masuda, yeah, he got fouled by Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee will get his third, team's 6th. And the reach-in foul. Masuda will get the inbound from Underhill. Masuda spin move back the other way. Lost his dribble, trying to go inside to Betts. Betts for 3. Well, Masuda, excuse me, for 3. And Masuda drops it in. 75-51. Ames with it, and it's stolen away by Cowenhoven. Cowenhoven up to Underhill. Underhill banks it in for 2. 75-53. Hendricks up the court with it. Give over to Carter Brown. Shot no good. Underhill with the rebound. Underhill. Shot up and in for 2. 75-55. And a whistle is blown. Wildcats will call their 4th timeout. They'll be left with 1. And it will be a full timeout. So we'll take commercial break here on Cool Country.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
As we come back out of the timeout, we got a final over in Bram. The Bram girls beat Mille Lacs 61-15. Meanwhile, Hunters will get to inbound. Under 4 minutes to go. Brooks Lee Jr. up the court quickly. Give off there to Carter Brown, who drops it in for 2. 77-55. Back the other way. Wildcats have it. Shot is up, no good by Betts. Carter Brown with the rebound. And Ferguson will drop it in for 2. 79-55. Right when it seems like the Wildcats are making a comeback, Hunters They'll get back on their horse. Shot is up and no good by Betts on the far side. Cowenhoven got the rebound and through some traffic. He put up a shot, but then it's no good. And it was rebounded by Carter Brown. Ferguson, pass up the court to him. He almost lost it to Underhill, but great concentration to get it back. Now it's Brooks Lee with it. To Hendricks. Brooks Lee, Euro step. Give outside to Ames for three, no good. Ferguson fakes the three. Give underneath. Nearly stolen away, and then Brooks Lee drew the foul. Eighth team foul on the Wildcats, fourth for Lasuda, and Brooks Lee at the line for two. First one is good. 80-55. Few substitutions for the Wildcats. This one no good. So Lee only gets one of two there. 80-55, still our score. Underhill give off to Seifert for three. That's good. 80-58. And Ferguson lost it, got it back. Back the other way. It's Seifert with the block. Stolen away by Underhill, but then they give it back on a steal by Hendricks. And now the ball up for grabs. Seifert has it, gives it up to Underhill. And Underhill drops it in for two, plus the and one. Foul on Ethan Ames, his first, team seventh. And Underhill trying for the three-point play. 80-60 with 1:56 to go. No good. So Underhill will only get two. Ferguson gets the pass deep his way, and then he was fouled by, I think, Seifert. Nine fouls, and this the fourth on Seifert. Ferguson at the line to shoot two. No good on that one. Ferguson good on the second. One of two there for Ferguson. Sub two in and out for Denfeld. 1:50 to go. It's 81-60. Well, the scoreboard says 80-60, so. Oh, no, there they go. They changed it to 81-60. Pass on the far side to Seifert, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to Denfeld. Unfortunate turnover there, and double team here on White for the Hunters, but it's knocked out of bounds. And checking in for Denfeld is Nault, in for Hendricks. Inbound will go to Ames now. Ames gives it over to Abernathy. Inside, that ball was tipped and I think blocked by Seifert again. Seifert will bring it back the other way, guarded by Abernathy. Then he gives it over to Will Walker. Walker trying to spin move inside, back out to Lasuda, now to Underhill. Underhill was fouled from behind by Ethan Nault. It'll be their team's eighth and the first on Nault. So is this two or a 1-and-1 for Underhill? I believe a 1-and-1. No good. by Underhill, and then it's rebounded by Seaford. It didn't look like either team really thought it was going to be ability to be rebounded. Meanwhile, Will Walker drops it in for two. 81-62. Ball into Abernathy. He almost lost it, and then he'll give it off now to McKeon, and that shot's no good. Estes with the rebound. Over to Seifert for three. 81-65, and 30 seconds to go now. And we get a foul, I think, on the Wildcats. It'll be their team's 10th, the 5th on the Suda, and he is done for the night. So the Suda's night comes to an end about 29 seconds early. Looks like Ames is okay. Ames was hunched over. Looks like he's all right, though, thankfully. And at the line, it looks like now to shoot two is Abernathy. .29 seconds to go. So Abernathy will shoot two. First one's up and good. 82-65. This one no good from Abernathy. Rebounded by Seifert. Will Walker for three. That's good up from the far side corner. 82-67. 15 seconds to go. 82-67, and unfortunately for the Wildcats, they just ran out of time here in this one. Otherwise, they were on the comeback, but just couldn't get it back. And Seifert tries for a late steal. Tries again. Not going to get it. And the Wildcats fall here to Duluth Denfeld, 82-68. A good fight for the Wildcats here. Unfortunately, they just ran out of time, and if they had about 3-4 more minutes, they might have had the win here in this one. But unfortunately, again, just kind of ran out of time. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back and recap this game. You're listening to Doubleheader Basketball on Cool Country 100.9 FM WCMP.
Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab a Meat Lover's burrito or new Ranchero beef and cheese burrito. I want one right now. Wash it down with everyone's favorite Celsius, buy one, get one free. And Holiday still has the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store and save. Open 24/7, 365. The Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Baseball and softball coaches, are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
Back here on Cool Country 100.9 FM, the final in this boys game of the doubleheader. The Wildcats fall to the Hunters of Duluth Denfeld 82-67. Taking a look at some of the stats here from this game. Leading the way for the Hunters was Ferguson with 25, 16 for Brooks Lee, 15 for Carter Brown, and then 9 for Joshua Rock, 6 for Berkeley Messel, and then 3 for Hendricks, 2 for Antonio Brown, Ames, and McKeon, and then 1 for both Abernathy and Nault. They had 16 total steals, 8 in each half. They had 3 blocks. They were 13 of 19 from the free throw line and had 17 total team fouls. On the other side for your Wildcats, leading the way was Cowenhoven with 18, 16 for Seaford, all of those points coming in the second half. 12 for Underhill, then 6 for Lasuda, 5 for Betts and Walker, 2 for Alex Johnson and Beaver. 8 rebounds for Cowenhoven to lead the team, 7 then for Underhill, 6 for Beaver. They had 12 steals, 3 blocks, all coming from Seaford, and they were 8 of 14 from the free throw line, and unfortunately 1 of 6 here in the second half, so less than ideal at the free throw line. And you think if they could have gone even 5 of 6, that's 4 more points. That brings it to 71-82. That definitely changes the look of this game. But again, moving on, as the Wildcats also had 17 team fouls, 7 in the first, 10 in the second. So, as I mentioned before, I think the Wildcats just kind of ran out of time here in this second half with the comeback. They were certainly on the comeback. It was certainly happening. But again, just time was not on their side, and they kind of ran out of time here. That is why you battle to the very end, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that reason, they almost had the comeback. But again, as my grandpa says, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So, but again, it was a great fight by the Wildcats, battling until the very end of this game and nearly completing the comeback. They were on the comeback trail earlier, where they ducked the deficit under the 20-point mark, and that's when the Hunters came back out and did their thing again. But I think the Wildcats just ran out of time here. I think they did. I think if you give them 3-4 more minutes, I think this turns from a loss to a win. And although it may only be a close win, it would have been, I think, a win nonetheless had they had a few extra minutes in the game. But it will be a loss for the Wildcats anyways. The Hunters get the victory over your Wildcats 82-67. Coming up for both of the Wildcat teams as we go ahead and move to the Mississippi 8 Conference. That is where they play out of. Again, a tough conference and a tough section out of Section 7-2A. We take a look at what's coming up next for them. The girls will play tomorrow up over in Big Lake. That'll be a night game at 7:15. And then for the boys, they will not play until next Tuesday. That'll be at North Branch. And in fact, that'll be both of them. The boys and girls will play at North Branch next Tuesday. I will actually be at that game. That should be a good one. The girls' game was a good one. It was close. Chisago Lakes had a chance at the end. Couldn't complete the comeback. And then the Wildcats lost 80-79 in the first meeting. So that should be a good one there on Tuesday. But the girls play again on tomorrow night at Big Lake. And then both boys and girls will play on Tuesday at North Branch. So that is going to do it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're listening on our YouTube channel, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button. That way you're notified every single time we go live with a local sporting event. Also a good way to stay tuned and find out what games we got coming up on our broadcast schedule. Go to the website, WCMPradio.com or KBK.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. The links will be up there every Monday afternoon for that week of play. Also, I want to thank all the fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast, plus you who tuned in. Appreciate all of you who tuned in. And if you want to stay tuned to more local sports, you can do that on our morning shows over on KBK 95.5 with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Josh Ramirez on this channel rather, at 7:45 and 8:45 for All things local sports. We'll talk this game, all the other games in our local listening area, plus regional and national sports as well. As I mentioned, you can go to our website, but we'll have interviews there with players and coaches. We'll have articles from games that we've been at and recapped and more, and plus the broadcast schedule. Also, stay tuned to our social medias, our Facebook pages for both stations, our Instagram for both stations, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio. For all things local sports, breaking sports news, coaches retiring, coaches being hired, interviews with coaches and players, LOI signings, broken records, all that and more on our social medias. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, or do whatever you have to do to be staying up to date with all things local sports. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to remind you to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really make their day. So be sure to be kind to everyone. We need that more. And it costs $0, believe it or not, to be nice, to be kind. So we need more of that in today's world. Stay tuned. We got North Branch versus Cloquet tomorrow night on 95.5, so tune in for that. That'll start at 1 p.m. Again, thanks to all of our fine sponsors. Thanks to you. The final here in this doubleheader. The Wildcat girls fall to Mound Westonka 55-44. The boys fall to Duluth Denfeld 82-67. For Cool Country, WCMP 100.9 FM, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend. Game Day Gilman, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.